this look good.
I am the law.
To our Terminator, right?
Yes.
Hey there, my name is Steven Sobot, and I'm the host of Hammer D20, the finest showcase of nerd culture and film review here on Cable 14. If you have any interest in any of the colorful parts of our lives, such as board games, video games, movie reviews, or anything in between, you'll find it here premiering on 6:30 p.m. on Mondays on Hammer D20. Hope to see you.
Sponsoring a course in mindfulness. And that certainly happened. My life is moving forward. I'm enjoying life again. And I'm thankful that I was able to take that program. Thank you.
The following is a Cable 14 sports presentation.
Welcome in here. It is Friday Night Baseball, Cable 14. Another lovely night here at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. Brent Gunning, Matt Creeley alongside me, bringing us all the news and notes. Of course, you see some furry friends tonight. It is Bark at the Park night here. I can only imagine. Going to have a little extra competition for those kids chasing down foul balls tonight. Lovely, lovely night here at the park as always. You see sons of furry friends. Love all our Cardinals friends, but it's the four-legged variety that will be taking over tonight. We are just wrapping up the national anthem here. It is a beautiful night at the ballpark. Guelph Royals coming into town for the first meeting between the two teams. Up to be another wonderful night at the ballpark here, and the Cardinals will be looking for a bounce back after far from the way they wanted it to go in their last game, dropping one in extra innings. Matt, you know, I love working with my guy, Roger Lajoie. Always happy to have you alongside me. How are we doing on a Friday night?
Very well, Brent. Thank you for asking. And yeah, you said it, the Cardinals coming off a rain-shortened weekend last week that left a little bit to be desired, a heartbreaker to close things out on Saturday in Brantford, and they'll look to get back on track against a Royals squad that is all of a sudden red hot. After starting the season 1-5, the Guelph Royals have won 4 in a row, and they have roared back to be above 500.
Against the Leafs in Toronto. It's been smooth sailing after that as well. What can we expect from Hector tonight, Matt?
Yeah, Hector Jan, the lefty, he gets up there with that fastball into the low to mid-90s, splitter and slider. And the big storyline tonight, Brent, is that he is facing his former team. Jan out of La Romana in the Dominican Republic. He was a Guelph Royal in 2023 and 24, and the Cardinals are hoping that the motivation, the extra motivation perhaps that he will get from facing some of his old friends is going to carry him to another strong performance tonight. In 3 starts and 13 1/3 innings so far this year, he has a 0.6
record. It's 7-6 for Guelph. It is 7-5 for Hamilton. We'll see how that shakes out tonight. Looking ahead to the starting lineup for Guelph, it'll be Ryan Dos Santos leading it off, number 17 here. He'll be manning left field tonight. As you mentioned, Hector Jan is somebody who has dominated. He's done it with punch-outs. He's done it by limiting walks. If you could do both of those things, you're in a pretty good position. And we will see how he's feeling tonight on a wonderful, wonderful night here in the Hammer. Here comes the first pitch from him. It is high, and we'll start with a ball. He'll have to work his way back in the count. You know, this is a guy who's not only punched out, but done a good job of limiting the walks as well this year. You know,
this is a guy you want to pound the zone early in counts against because he's going to be selective, and if you get ahead, then that's your best shot against him.
Yeah, they all, not including Dos Santos, they also have the league's 2 leaders in on-base percentage, so it's going to be a patient Royals lineup you would imagine tonight. That one goes high, and it becomes a 2-2 count on Dos Santos here. Jan wearing the white and white that the Cardinals have on tonight, bright red hat, bright red sleeves for him, the Dominican native, as he works, looking for the strikeout here. Looks like a check swing, but he will hold up. McGill unable to catch it, and it is a full count here for the first batter of the game. You know, Jan, not somebody who's working particularly deep into games, but he has been so looking, and the Cardinals are off to a good start here with the first strikeout of the night.
Yeah, Brent, going back to that point earlier about not going deep into games, Luis Bernardo, early in the season, because it is early and there's lots of meaningful baseball to be played, he has been pretty mindful of the starting pitchers' pitch counts this season, kind of limiting them to 80 or so as you get a look at the Cardinals' defense here.
Yeah, here it is. We see the outfield there. Of course, Tyler Duncan in the middle of things. It's Reyes, Nickel, Herman, and Rempel around the infield. And then, as we mentioned, McGill and Jan, the battery there. Rempel getting in at first base. You know, the Cardinals have done a lot of battery there. Rempel getting in at first base. You know, the Cardinals have done a lot of mixing and matching in terms of the way they've set things up, including who's played first base. In terms of the way they've set things up, including who's played first base. A lot of Rempel over there as well this year. Made some incredible defensive plays that we've seen over there as well this year. Made some incredible defensive plays that we've seen. You see Anderson Feliz in the outfield tonight. He's another kind of key cog to that versatility that they have. We've seen him at third.
A very nice start to this year, slashing .316, .435, .470. A very nice start to this year, slashing .316, .435, .474, and we know how good he is with the glove over there at first too.
Yeah, you will certainly take that, just like you'll take Jan blowing it by. The second hitter of the game here for the Royals. This is Anthony Gilbert now, the beer batter, of course. If they're able to get a strikeout here, it will be a beer happy hour for the rest of the inning here. So a lot of people in attendance excited about that. I don't think dogs could drink, but their owner sure would be happy about it. I can promise you that. This is a dangerous hitter, and sure would be happy about it. I can promise you that. This is a dangerous hitter in Gilbert, obviously playing short. This is a focal piece for their team. Yeah, as you mentioned, not only the high OBP, but also the 458 batting average this season, 480 OBP, OPS above 1,200. Basically what I'm getting at is if there's a stat for it in baseball, he's been dominant this year. We'll see how active Guelph is on the base pass tonight. Hasn't been a feature for them, but something they're far from shy to do. We see a quick check there from Jan as he digs into the three-hitter. Once inside and in the dirt, thinking about it for a second there is Gilbert, but he makes his way back to first, and it is a 0-1 count here, a 1-0 count on every night. McGill has been a staple for it. I know having some big offensive performances as well lately.
Yeah, his 3 homers are tied for the team lead, and he might just be wanting to be silent back there as Connor Morrow thought that first pitch hit him. And Dino Ramel, the Royals manager, coming in from third base to hear the explanation from home plate ump Mike Kinnear. They're not happy about it, but Morrow thought he got hit by a toe, but instead it's just ball one.
Yeah, we saw it there on the replay. Great job by everybody in the truck showing us that it did hit him. It was after it hit Evan McGill, though. Once it hits the catcher's glove, I don't think you get credit for the old HBP there. But he was looking for the first strike of the at-bat. It is a 2-1 count here. Cardinals coming off a loss in extras. Guelph and them right knocked together in the standings here. Guelph has played one more game in this season. Of course, the Cardinals getting rained out last Friday because of the severe rains that we did have. And you see the check to Rempel at first, and Gilbert makes his way back. No real threat of running there, but never hurts to look over. The idea of small ball, trying to create some things. If you're going to be the team that thrives in on-base percentage, I imagine you'd be a team that would be open to the idea of that as well. And we'll see if the Royals are looking to run, get it to second base for the out, and eliminating the threat from Gilbert there. Got to feel good to help out your pitcher in that way.
And nicely done by McGill to erase the lengthy walk that Gilbert drew. And the Royals have a lot of on-base threats at the top of that lineup in front of Garrett Takamatsu. Good to keep him off there.
That was as obvious as they come. Just like that was the swinging strike 3, and the Cardinals are out of the inning, allowing one base runner. But Evan McGill erases that right before Jan picks up his second strikeout of the inning, and the Cardinals pick up a clean 1-2-3, and they're on to the bottom of the first. And for the first time tonight, we'll get to see that Cardinals offense. You know, there's been different ways the Cardinals have set things up. Tyler Duncan is led off. He's been in second. You're going to see him in the 2-hole tonight, and here is that lineup. It's Carlos Dominguez starting things off as your designated hitter. Tough challenge that they've got in their hands tonight. Liam Watt, youngster in this league. We know there can be some elder statesmen in this league. Liam Watt, the Toronto/Burlington native, on the other side of things here, just 22 years old tonight.
Yeah, Watt.
He'll be 22 years old for a while. I don't want to make it seem like it's just a tonight thing.
Yeah, Watt is out of Dallas Baptist University. He's got a low 90s fastball plus breaking ball along with the changeup, so he can be pretty tough on lefties. But in his last start against Toronto, there was only one lefty in the starting lineup, and that day he threw 6 shutout innings, only struck out 2, but he induced 11 ground balls, and that's going to be the key for the Cardinals. That fastball's got some sink to it. They got to watch out because he's going to try and make them get on top of the ball. So they're going to have to kind of try and swing on Royals bullpen tonight. And Liam Watt, the ground ball pitcher.
Yeah, ground ball pitcher, as we've seen, at any level of baseball, that obviously can play out in one way, but you start finding some holes, and all of a sudden you can run into a little bit of trouble. And this Cardinals offense certainly has enough thump to make you pay. Obviously, the king of that in this lineup is the hitting in number 2 spot, Tyler Duncan in center field. It'll be Dominguez leading it off tonight. He's got the white arm sleeve on his trail arm there, nothing on the front arm, as the Cardinals are in their home whites. He's got the high red Sox and, of course, the red batting helmet of the Cardinals tonight. For a young player like Watt, obviously the Cardinals, they got great staff. In Baseball League, his second start, as you mentioned, the one start we've seen out of him was very, very good. We'll have to see a difference between a patient approach and looking to have a little power. We'll see if Dominguez starts that off, and he starts it off by watching ball 1. There it is. And speaking of putting some wood on it, he does, rips it through the left-hand side, and that'll be a leadoff single for Dominguez. Got to feel like that's exactly what they were talking about doing. Nothing on the ground. Maybe not elevating completely, but elevating a little there, Matt.
Yeah, he elevated enough, and Dominguez was reinserted back into the leadoff spot last week after an early season slump. Coming into this one, he's 10 for 22 with 2 homers and 11 RBI in his last 5 ball games. So now 11 for 23 in his past 23 at-bats. That's how you want to start a ball game.
Yeah, of course, the high water mark for offense, not just from the Cardinals this season, but in the league this season, was the 23-1 draw. And waving over there. We'll see how she goes. Duncan with a big cut, but he's over top of it, and it is a 1-1 count. Tyler Duncan, special hitter in this league. You don't win MVP, you don't win home run derbies without being it. But if you could say, what is the one thing that allows Duncan to be so effective in this league?
I think it's just, the accomplished resume. He's been there, and pitchers are scared of him. He sees a lot of pitches out of the zone. I believe this season he's seen more pitches out of the zone on a percentage basis than any other Cardinals hitter in this lineup. They don't give him great things to hit, and the fact that the Cardinals really lengthened their lineup coming into this season means that it's hard
in that regard this season with the bats they've added, including Felice and Herman that are sitting behind him there. But it does feel like you don't want to sit there and walk your way to a dominant offensive season. It feels like that's been what's sitting in the lap of Duncan a lot this season. Here is the 1-2 pitch from the Burlington native, Watt. Goes in, and it'll hit Duncan on the elbow. Well-placed elbow guard there, and he will take his free base, and all of a sudden the Cardinals have got something cooking with runners on first and second. There's one of the furry friends, one of the many furry friends we will see in attendance tonight. Bark at the Park night. Gotta love it. We do see a ton of people in attendance, both with and without dogs. Incredibly effective hitter for the Cards. You don't end up in the 3-hole with the weapons that they have if you're not. And we looks at that one just at the top of the zone, and it'll be strike 1 to start things off. Cardinals with runners on first, or runner on first, runner on second. Dominguez did appear to be looking to steal a base. I don't know if it was a hit and run or a stolen base attempt, but Duncan was able to get some wood on it, fouling it off. We'll see how active the Cardinals are going to be trying to force the issue. With Watt being as effective as he was in that last outing, you really have to feel like you want to take advantage of something like this early on in the ball game. And even if you're not able to scratch a bunch across, as you mentioned.
He gets bat on ball. He loves to catch the ball out front and pull the ball. If he were to get something in the left field corner here, Dominguez would score easily.
Yeah, playing him pretty deep in left field. The left fielder pretty much all the way back at the track there. Obviously center and right a little bit shorter for the right-handed batter. And that one is pulled to the left side. Third baseman will get the force at third, throws across the diamond, but it'll go. And that's going to go well to the field, to the right fielder having to back it up. Duncan's coming around, and he will stand up and score. The Cardinals have got a 1-0 lead, and Herman is into third on the throwing error across the diamond. This is what you want to do. You want to force the issue there. This is
just kind of step on third, but then he got a little too greedy, tried to throw across the diamond, couldn't quite place it accurately, and he is going to pay dearly for that as Duncan comes around to score. Herman all the way around to third. There's still one out, so a sacrifice fly situation here for Nickel and the Cardinals.
Yeah, Nickel's been dangerous, battled a little bit of an injury early on this season, back in the lineup, not just in the lineup, but back playing short as well. It is a brother affair for him. Trevor on the team as well this year. He's gotten in a few games, has had a few moments there, and yeah, just to go back to that defensive play, this is what happens when you want to force out.
Yeah, you saw Nickel a little frustrated with himself there, and Morrow gets redemption for that one.
Left side, third baseman will
There's
get
a
the
ground
force
ball
at
play
third,
by
throws across
Herman.
the diamond.
Making chaos happen.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want your speed to be a weapon for you, and that can come in many forms. I think a lot of times people will think of it as the stolen base. Sometimes they'll think of it as taking the extra bag, but if it can just force a little urgency on the defender's part, generally speaking, urgency can create mistakes. That is certainly the case there, and the Cardinals have a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of 1. Runner on third, 2 outs as they look to add to their lead in the bottom of the first. It is Liam Watt on the mound, the lanky lefty delivering, and it is a ball here to push the count to 2-0.
Reyes was held off.
This is the first run of the game. It's 1-0 Cardinals after 1 here in the second, or heading to the second inning at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. That's the start you want for the Cardinals. Obviously, you would have maybe liked to have added a little more to that when you do have all the traffic you had on the base pass. But to your point, forcing more pitches out of Watt, forcing them to get kind of deeper and deeper into the game. You'll have to see how that those knock-on effects come here. In terms of Jan, you love the inning you got out of him there, working around the one base runner, obviously for Evan McGill. You got to love what he got there. You know what else you got to love is being able to win a little money and doing it for a good cause. You see the QR code on your screen there. You can buy your 50-50 tickets even if you're not in the ballpark tonight. All support, or in support of Cancer Assistance Program there. So again, just scan the QR code and get your 50-50 tickets. That's this around across the league. Allow everyone to really, take a little ownership of it. Speaking of ownership, the guy who may very well have ownership over this Guelph Royals lineup, Garrett Takamatsu, is going to lead it off here. This is as dangerous a hitter as there is in the Canadian Baseball League.
Yeah, Takamatsu in his 8th season now in the CBL, getting set to face his former teammate Jan. He's hitting .395 this year, 10 walks to just 4 strikeouts. He's always right in the middle of it. Probably the biggest consistent power threat in this Royals lineup.
And you don't want to mess around with that. It's a good way to start, pounding the zone for strike 1 there. In a matter of Luis Bernardo being able to kind of mix and match and use different elements of his team with the limited schedule there's been early on in the season. Nothing limited about that as he gets Takamatsu swinging, and all of a sudden it is a quick 2 strikes on likely the most dangerous Guelph Royals hitter.
And the thing with Jan being a strikeout pitcher is that sometimes he doesn't work the most efficiently, so that kind of stricter pitch limit that Bernardo has set for his pitchers early on in the year means that Jan is going to only really throw 4 or 5 innings to start in the early going if he's going on his natural cadence, but wow.
Yeah, you'll take 4 or 5 if they look like that. The 3rd strikeout of the night so far from Jan, as you mentioned, strikeout pitch. You've seen him be dominant in other outings. Again, the one against Toronto is the one that's going to most come to mind. It seems like he's on pace to kind of match that or at least give it a run with how he started against Guelph. Just threw 1 1/3 here, and he's got 3 strikeouts so far. The lone base runner that reached, Devin McGill, was able to throw him out on a caught stealing attempt. That one is a ball outside to start things off.
And Miguel Geraldo at the plate right now, former Jays prospect, spent 6 seasons with them from the Dominican Republic. New to the league this year, he walked off the Cardinals in this first season series meeting between these two teams on June the 2nd in Guelph on a sac fly in the bottom of the 9th.
Out of trouble there, avoiding the hit by pitch. Wouldn't have tickled, I can assure you that, but the way Jan can run it up there. Lefty-lefty matchup tonight. Don't often see that. Got to think it's going to be interesting to see the way it plays out, especially when you'd imagine some right-handers get into the game. Ball is chopped up the middle. It'll be Nickel making the play. It's short. Fires a strike over to first. Rempel beating it just in time. Very delayed call by the umpire there, but I trusted my eyes. Nickel with the great play there. He has been the backbone, or one of them, of this Cardinals defense. As I mentioned, this is a team that loves to move bodies around. Rempel is far from the everyday first baseman. It does feel like McGill, Nickel, and Duncan are kind of the spine of this team defensively, and they have a great ability to kind of mix and match around that.
But hey, all it does is really just incentivizes great performance all the better. If you're hot, then you're going to find your way in that lineup. It's a deep lineup. The Cardinals are going to use that depth to their luxury, and whoever stands out now.
In this at bat, it is a beautiful night here. Not really a breath of wind. We've had some windy, gusty games here at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium that have really made it hard for the ball to travel. I don't know that that'll be the case tonight. A little bit of wind, but barely anything that should affect things too much tonight. It's a big ballpark, though. There are certainly some bandboxes in this league. I would not consider this one of them. You see Jan running it up at the top of the zone there. Big-time challenge pitch, and he got him to bite.
Yeah, this is Victor Mascai. He's Brazilian, and this is a World Baseball Classic guy right here, Brent. He played a couple games for Brazil at the 2026 rendition of the tournament a couple months ago.
What a add a second run or more to what they've got so far, and that is the prototypical Hector Yan outing. You know, they're not always going to go like that, but when they go well, they look something like this, I'd imagine, Matt.
Yeah, and Jan, hey, we've always known he's had the swing and miss stuff. The Cardinals have been on the other side, unfortunately, of some great outings from him in the past in a Royals uniform. So once again, they're very happy that he is a teammate now. And again, the thing with the strikeout pitcher is sometimes they're not the most efficient. Sometimes the fact that Jan relies so much on swing and miss and chase can mean that the walks pile up sometimes, the pitch count piles up sometimes. But this season, he's been limiting the walks kind of to the best we've ever seen from him.
You can run into a bat path here and there, and when you've got the power that Jan has, that can obviously be a bit of a problem for you. But has far been from that this season. You know, in terms of Liam Watt, I feel like he leaves that first inning probably thinking, you know, all things considered, that kind of went how I expected it to. There was the one hard hit ball through the left side, but beyond that, hits a batter in Duncan, and then the throwing error is really what led to the lead, or led to the one Cardinals run. I would imagine Watt feels like there was a little something he could build on heading into this second inning.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Carlos Dominguez ambushed him a little bit, as he does to so many pitchers in this league, from the leadoff spot with that base hit. But Watt did a good job. Excellent
fish, you know, again, in talking to Evan McGill before the game a couple of Fridays ago, talked about how, now this is for a catcher, obviously a lot more to deal with, but it'd be a little bit like drinking from a fire hose to start things off in your professional career. It's a different level of baseball. It is, you know, guys you're maybe not as familiar with, especially after spending 4 years in one collegiate league, and we'll see if Watt's able to get something going here. Not that I'd be rooting for it. Feliz skies one into center field, a mile high, but he is retired. Center fielder making the catch there, and that's got to feel good for Watt to get some quick work. As far as Feliz, you know, this is a guy you want to talk about, people who've been bounced up and down the lineup. I believe when he started, it was in the 4-hole. He's kind of found himself dropping a little bit here, but I think that just kind of proves how dangerous this Cardinals lineup is, that you can have a switch-hitting threat like Feliz, and he's hitting in your 6th
tonight. Hasn't had a ball hit to him yet, but stay tuned on that one.
Yeah, we will see. The catcher, Evan McGill, obviously somebody at Hope, is pretty familiar with the strike zone. Watches strike one there, and it is a 1-1 count on the catcher. We get a look at his opposite for the Royals there. On the flip side of the battery, it is Liam Watt on the bump, the lanky lefty with the lefty-lefty matchup here. Again, to your point, Matt, this is not a guy, very opposite pitching styles. You know, Jan might only go 4 or 5, but he's going to try to burn it past you every time. Watt going to pitch to some contact, and we'll see if he's able to do that there, although he's missing bats so far. McGill with another whiff in this. Wouldn't have minded highlighting that one for sure. Evan McGill wouldn't have minded a better result as he gets the first strikeout of the night for Watt, and it'll now be Tanner Rempel coming up to the mound, or coming up to the dish. This is a guy for a first baseman, not somebody you would think of as necessarily stringing together some web gems, or at least not the position. He has done that this year. He has made a couple of the nicest plays I've seen any Cardinals defender make, and again, a bit of a surprise to see it over at first, but this is another weapon for them. As you mentioned, really picking it up with the bat as well. Swinging on the first pitch, attacking it. That'll be fouled over the Royals dugout there for strike one. As an offensive threat for this team, you know, it goes to speak to the length that this Cardinals lineup wants to establish this season. Looking at the 0-1 pitch, there it is from Watt. Rempel hitting it to the second baseman. A little bit of a bobble, throws over to first. It's low, but it is dug out, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for the Royals. Cardinals retired in order, and we are through the second inning here. It is a 1-0 Cardinals lead here at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. Obviously, Cardinals, birds always on the brain, just like our friends at Armstrong Bird Food.
Sometimes the littlest things can make the biggest difference. Like nature brightening your day.
One of the great Cardinals traditions here, the kids running the bases. I got a little Cardinals fan of my own at home, and this is absolutely one of his favorite parts. You know, I like it. We got athletes out there. We got competitors. I do not see lollygagging out there. Whoever's doing it, attacking it with gusto. And in the theme of the kids running the bases here tonight at the Birdhouse, a friend of the team, Brad Bucco. We'd like to shout out his son, EJ, who won the USA National Championship and will be competing for the world title in Greece, did I mention he's 9? Completing against 12-year-olds. So big luck to EJ. Absolutely love that. We love repping anybody there. I also want to highlight something else. We've got a baseball team in attendance tonight. It is the 15 years up here. Again, a wonderful tradition. I did always laugh. My favorite part of seeing the kids run the bases so far this season was Owen Boone starting. And this is a man who likes to work fast and he likes to work. And him sitting there, not to say he's not a wonderful stalwart of the community and doesn't love the children getting their chance, but he's itching to get back to work. Jan seeming to be much of the same. And the way he's pitched tonight, why wouldn't you feel that way?
You know what, one thing I'd like to see next year, Brent, for Bark at the Park night, and it may not be possible, but wouldn't it be fun to see dogs run the bases?
We might need a doggy diaper. It's like, I would have assumed you bring 10s, 100 dogs into the park tonight, and you would have seen a little more wily behavior. These are some very good boys, if I do say so myself. You see some of our canine friends here, four-legged furry friends, in attendance tonight. I hope they like pitching. Hasn't exactly been the day for offense. I expected to hear a lot of the crack of the bats, and that's when the dogs would have been jumping out of their seat. Haven't seen too much of that tonight. The lone run we saw was cobbled together and ultimately came across via an error from the Guelph Royals third baseman, Connor Morrow, but it is a 1-0 Cardinals lead as we head to the top of the third here. Jan's been dominant tonight. He gets right back to work.
Not at all, and the lefties are in tough, and it can be difficult sometimes for a lineup when some of the most powerful hitters that you have to offer are those lefty hitters, and they can be neutralized. But hey, this is just going to give the righties a chance to shine. And speaking of tough lefty-lefty matchups, I do not think Davies Nadal is having any fun right now.
No, doesn't appear to be. I don't think anybody's having much fun the way Jan's been dealing tonight. You see him here on the mound, and he just seems like an uber confident pitcher. And again, if he's going to perform the way he has thus far, looked like he wanted that one on the outside. Matt might have wanted it as well, folks, but it is a ball for the Cardinals there as they push things ahead here. Still too tight. How busy has the Cardinals pen been, Matt, and how fresh do we think, or how much of his arsenal does Luis Bernardo have at his disposal?
Well, the good thing is, especially with the rain out last Sunday and the full week off, everybody should be well rested now, but the bullpen kind of had to work for it a little bit last week. Owen Boone was yanked prematurely in the fourth inning, and then Fracey Adames ran into some hit-by-pitch troubles in Brantford that threw a fork into his pitch count. So they were put to the test a little bit last week, and they did a great job calming things down on Friday night. Saturday didn't go as well, but hey, this is a bullpen that Luis Bernardo knows he can be confident. He knows he has guys in there that he...
First, he's second there with 29 on the year. This is a lot to like. I don't know what's going on with the baseballs here, but we got back-to-back that Sir Hector does not like on the mound. We're getting a check from the umpire here. This is a little curious, but this is the beauty of baseball. There's all these little finicky things that can happen from time to time. We'll see if Jan can find one he likes here.
Well, you go back to the first pitch of that at-bat to Matt Ward, and Hector airmailed that one. There's no getting around it. He threw it all the way. That would have been a safety hazard to a left-handed batter there, and so he wants to make sure that doesn't happen again. You got to have a good grip on the baseball.
Yeah, certainly. I don't know if it would have been safety. That might have been behind the left-handed backs, getting a grip on here as he looks to work back, working quickly here, finding the bottom of the zone, clipping it for the first strike of the at-bat. It's such an important thing to be able to do when you have something like that. Airmailing a ball like that can obviously affect your confidence a little, and professional athletes, you'd imagine you're able to rebound, but certainly not the way you would like it there, and it ends up being in a walk. Now, last time we saw one of those, Evan McGill was able to neutralize the threat by throwing out a base runner. We'll see how active Guelph is on the base pass tonight, and when you've got a strikeout pitcher like Jan, you got to imagine you might try to force the issue a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure how active Ward is going to be on the bases, especially compared to someone like Anthony Gilbert, who was thrown out in the first inning, bottom of the order. And I was going to say it, he took the words right out of my mouth there by showing on the first pitch a bunt situation here, so the Cardinals defense is going to have to be mindful of that.
Yeah, they certainly will be. This is a guy who finds a way to get on base in Patterson. He's second in the league in OBP with a .543. That means he gets on base over half of his at-bat, folks. Definitely something to be mindful of. And we do see the third baseman into the corners, obviously Rempel holding the runner there, but then it's a more traditional double play depth. Quite the interesting infield setup here, and that's what happens when you show bunt to start things off, and it is Ashton Patterson who's got himself a 1-1 count. We'll see how this shakes out. Hector Yan looking in, seeing if he gets a little shuffle at first. High, but gets the strike call there, and it is a 2-2 strike, or it is a 2-2 count on Patterson here. Yan looking to escape the only minimal threat he's had. Again, second base runner he's allowed. We're in the third inning here, and it is a 1-0 Cardinals lead. Little check at first from Yan. He delivers the 2-2 pitch, and that's a whiff. Seemed to have really confused Patterson there, and you can see him mimicking the swing. Did not like it, and it's the 5th strikeout of the night for Yan.
Yeah, and with the propensity of Yan to get swing and miss and get chase, he's one of those guys where if you're down in a 2-strike count against him, the at-bat is virtually already over, and you don't want
left fielder. It's been interesting to see the way he's worked to these lefties. Doesn't seem to be trying to fight him inside much. We got the pick attempt. Does he get him? And he does. Great tag by Rempel. Excellent move by Yan. And the Cardinals get out of the inning. It was a little defense from Evan McGill to start things off in the second. And then we get the pitcher helping himself out. That is an excellent, excellent pickoff move. You've got to love to see that. It's one thing when the catcher helps the pitcher out. When he helps himself out with some wonderful defense or a pickoff move like that, you've got to love it.
Yeah, and that was one of those things where you could kind of see disaster unfolding if you're the Guelph Royals. Matt Ward, Owen Boone last Friday night turn around and pick off Lucas Bateman at second base. So how about that? The Cardinals pitchers doing themselves favors here.
Yeah, a lot of favors, and hey, if you're going to allow a walk to allow the base runner, probably good to help yourself out by being able to get out of the jam there. He's really done it all tonight. I mean, I don't know what's been the deadlier throw, the ones he's managed to strike guys out on, or that pickoff attempt, and far from an attempt, a pickoff at first there. Rempel super fired up heading into the dugout. And why wouldn't he? You love seeing the emotion in this. You know, baseball can be a game where you emotion in the game. You saw it from the Cardinals starter there.
Yeah, and Hector Yan is somebody who he was slated to start on Sunday against the London Majors last week before the rain, and I think it kind of lined up serendipitously for Luis Bernardo and the coaching staff that his former team was coming to town on Friday. You just keep the current rotation. Somebody as motivated and as fiery as Hector, he is going to channel that emotion and use it to his benefit when there's kind of something on the line there, something along the lines of him facing his former team, and that's going to be a situation that he's not going to shy away from. He wants to rise to the occasion. He wants that spotlight, and through 3 innings, he has shown why.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since he left his former team, of course. There, that one is hit high. It is deep. It is gone. 9-hole hitter. Jaden Brown puts a charge into this one, and he's going to help out his pitcher with a deep fly. It is the second run of the night, and the Cardinals have got a 2-0 lead here at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. That one was crushed. As I mentioned, big ballpark here, Matt. Not easy to get out of it. Jaden Brown making it look pretty easy, if I do say so myself, though.
There are not many ballparks in the world that can hold Jaden Brown when he connects on one, and I got to give him props here because this is a guy who hasn't been consistently starting every day. You draw back into the lineup after a pinch hit appearance last Saturday against Brantford. You're not necessarily maybe in the best groove of things here, and all it took was one pitch.
And he will take a ball there. It's a good start here, and you want to see the power. You know, we talk about this at all levels of baseball. It's great to be able to get on base. It's great to be able to string together hits. You want to do some small ball, be able to find a way to get on base and generate runs. The best way possible is thumping one. That one's hit on a pretty similar trajectory, but it got under it a little bit, and it will be the center fielder retiring Dominguez there. He gets the launch angle sorted out just a little bit, and that could have been a carbon copy of what we saw to Jaden Brown.
Yeah, and Dominguez, like Brown, there's some swinging. The Guelph Royals at Hastings Stadium against former CBL MVP Claudio Custodio last year. Custodio struck out 11 Cardinals in that outing, but he served up a middle fastball to Dominguez, and the video of the bat flip went pretty viral, at least by CBL standards. He can run into one too, just though got a little bit under that one, narrowly missing the back-to-back.
Yeah, well, if you would like a guy that's capable of going deep, could I interest you in number 5, the center fielder Tyler Duncan? You don't win the Derby a couple of times in this league without having plenty of pop yourself. He watches strike one there. Now one will be low and outside to bring the count to 1-1. We talked about it earlier. Duncan, a very patient hitter, also has plenty of power, also has plenty of pop himself. You got to meld those.
Duncan Derby three-peat written all over it.
I think he would love to sign up for that, but a lot of fish to fry, including in the game tonight as he watches ball 2 low on the outside. The lefty-lefty matchup here tonight, you know, maybe some lefties you'd like to keep out of the lineup against a guy like Watt. No chance you'd be doing it with Duncan with how dangerous and how important he is for this Cardinals lineup. He got on base in the first inning via hit by pitch, and he came around to score on the throwing error from the third baseman, Morrow. That one will be a bit of a seeing eye single just past the second baseman. He does find a way to get on base again. again. It's 2 ABs, or well, I should say 1 at bat, 2 plate appearances, twice on base for Tyler Duncan, and the center fielder has got a little something cooking after the designated hitter and Jaylen Brown put a charge into one.
And it looked like over there at second base, Miguel Giraldo definitely playing him to pull, and Duncan got one in on the hands. It definitely jammed him, but he's a strong guy. He stayed on that one just long enough to shoot it back up the middle.
Yeah, it was a job of hitting them where they ain't. We saw the pickoff from Jan at from the Cardinals in the last inning. Watt seeing if he can best him, but Duncan's able to slide back into first safely, and it continues to be a man on first. Saw the Cardinals double up their lead in this inning with the Jayden Brown homer to left center, and we now see the swing and miss from Herman, and that runs the count to 1-1. Running on that one, but he'll be heading back to first as Herman fouls it off over the leaping head of Luis Bernardo. You know, obviously once a player, always a player. He's in the game over there. You hit a ball to him, he's gonna attempt to make a play on it. He's certainly not shy, as the Cardinals skipper, also acting as the third base coach. We see him there, very animated with the signs. We like that we shot him from the back though, so we don't have too good of a look. You know, we can't help out any scouting reports here. We see Herman digging in. He has the 1-2 count here. Tyler Duncan at first, running on the last pitch, not doing it. The feature of a new pitcher in this league, you know, you can do all the research you want, you can look at all the video you want, but until you get there in the box, hard to know exactly what it'll look like. And obviously the first time seeing Watt get some high chasing there, Herman probably not going to be thrilled with that swing decision.
Yeah, and Herman's been a pretty aggressive guy in the box this year, and he's had the bat to ball and the ability to yank so many, feels like doubles, extra base hits down in that left field corner, and his eyes just got a little too big on that one. Only 8 strikeouts on the year coming into this game, but Watt fooled him with the high fastball, and Herman, in that situation, it might be a little more beneficial to see more.
In foul territory. We'll see how this AB goes. Bit of a sword swing there from him, and it is a 1-1 count on the Cardinals shortstop. You know, this is a player very established in this league, understands what he is, and probably really nice for the Cardinals to have him back at fighting strength after he had to DH and missed a couple of games earlier this season.
And if you think he wasn't back to full strength, had a heck of a weekend last week. His batting average on the year now up to .318, and he hit his second homer of the season in that contest against Brantford, but right now Watt's been getting the better of him.
Yeah, he certainly has. It looked like the change again there to Duncan, but it was far from a blast, and then he's been able to retire the next batter that he saw in Herman. That one going to appear to be inside, but no, clips the zone. Nickel looking at it, obviously doesn't love the call, and we are through 3 innings here at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. It is a 2-0 Cardinals lead thanks to a big blast by Jayden Brown here in the second. Tyler Duncan scoring in the first, and it is 2-0 through 3 innings here on Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14.
Oh, hey. Are you looking for the hottest game in town? Look no further. It's here on Cable.
Alcoholics Anonymous. We're here to help. For more information, visit aa.org and download the Meeting Guide app.
On the season finale of Above and Beyond, content creator Brandon Parks joined me. We talked about all things accessibility and inclusion from our own lived experiences, unfiltered. Catch it Mondays at 9:30 on Cable 14 and cable14.com.
Memorial Stadium. Cardinals have scored a couple of runs. They've done it in exact opposite ways. One via a throwing error, the other via a majestic blast off the bat of Jayden Brown. Hector Jan has been remarkable here to start things off, carving up the Guelph Royals lineup, and he looks to continue that here into the top of the 4th. See the Cardinals starter here delivering, and it's a It's a heater right to the middle of the back. Does not tickle, does not seem thrilled, but he's going to end up on first base there. And the Cardinals, once again, will have to work around a base runner. For as well as things have gone from a defense and pitching standpoint tonight, they've had a runner on base every inning that we've seen thus far.
And Jan has still been able to face the minimum after the caught stealing and the pickoff move there. Do it there to no avail, and then chased a breaking ball out of the zone 0-2, but then Hector gave it right back to him by hitting him in the back, and we'll see if the Royals can not make another out on the bases here.
We had a great shot of Tanner Rempel over at first there, doing what all good first basemen have to do, and that's being the mayor, just yucking it up, having a chuckle with a guy who just got hit in the back. Anything you can do to try to make him a little less mad, I suppose, goes a long, long way. Rempel's also been a big factor in this game. You mentioned the pickoff there. You can't pick a guy off at first if you don't throw it to the first baseman. He is battling the sun right now. You'll see him anytime he gets into that squat when it does look like there could be a pickoff attempt coming here. It does seem to be right kind of in the danger zone. Much luck from an offensive perspective the Royals have tonight. We'll see if they try to force the issue here via a little small ball or a little hit and run. And there is the throw over to first. Now the shade appears to have crept in, or it looks like the little cloud cover might be blocking out the sun. Rempel, diving catch though, manages to keep that one in front of him, which will keep the runner at first. And it is still a runner on first, looking for the first out of the inning. In the top of the fourth here are the Cardinals. Hector Jan working so far tonight, He's been dominant here, and we have C. McGill throw out a runner. That has got to be a good way to ingratiate yourself to your starting pitcher.
I know it's tough when a lefty is throwing to get a great lead off of first, and with the pickoff move, that was definitely in the back of the Royals' mind too, but Dos Santos did not get the best jump there. I think that hurt him in the end. That was a bang-bang play at second base, and it feels like half an inch would have been the difference there.
Yeah, it certainly was. That one was a little closer than the first one we saw. Felt like there was a lot more daylight in there, but McGill finding a way to get it there in time either way. Got to feel good about your defense when you're throwing out a couple of runners thus far in the game. And there is the Cardinals unable to get to that one there. It goes past the second baseman and Herman, and for the
back up the middle, Gilbert, the Quebec City native, spent some time in the WCBL. We know good hitters there often translate to good hitters in this league, and as you said, in his first time up, OPSing over 1,200 on the season. He just continues to put together great at-bats for this Royals ball club.
Scary, scary hitter. Anytime you're hitting over 1,200 OPS, that's scary at any level of baseball, including the Canadian Baseball League there. And you see Jan finding the top of the zone there to pick up strike one. Just a quick check on the out-of-town scoreboard here. A lot of offense tonight. Barrie doubling them up in the third inning. It is 4-2 there. And, of course, we've got a 2-0 Cardinals lead here at home in the top of fourth as the Cardinals host the Royals tonight. It is a quick 2 strikes for Hector Jan on the Royals here. We'll see if he's able to get the strikeout that he has been so sorely searching for. Just haven't been any tonight. Got to find a way to pick up another one. Looks for the breaker at the top of the zone, but just high. Would have loved to have had that one. There's many ways to pick up a strikeout there. Would have loved to have seen him clip in the top of the zone with a breaking ball to get one.
That looks pretty similar to the pitch that Brendan Nickel was.
Now will force the runner to second. So for the first time tonight, Guelph has a runner in scoring position, and Hector Jan will have to find a way to work around that.
That was an interesting interaction there between Jan and Tanner Rempel. Rempel holding the ball in his glove after completing the putout at first base, and you saw Anthony Gilbert kind of lazily dancing off second. He wasn't on the bag as the out was recorded, so Jan was frantically trying to get him to throw to second and catch him napping there. And ideally, in a perfect world, the Cardinals would have pulled that off, but you don't want to get too risky and accidentally airmail the ball into the outfield.
Well, I mean, we've already seen the Cardinals score a run, not on a play exactly like that, but it was a rush throw from Morrow that ended up allowing Tyler Duncan to come in and score the Cardinals' first run of the game. And as we mentioned, urgency is a good thing. You want to have urgency in life, but it sometimes can come back to haunt you. And I think that was what Rempel was kind of guarding against there. Also, would have been an incredibly tough play even if he was on it. I mean, he was straying off second, but it wasn't exactly like the lead he has there now. It was just a foot or two, if that. And we see Jan delivering the pitch, and it is a ball high and outside, bringing the count to 1-1 here. We're into the fourth inning. This is somewhere where I think you would start to think about his outing, typically kind of running his course, but the way he's been delivering tonight, obviously no traffic in the Cardinals bullpen. There's been very little traffic on the bases, which could allow Bernardo to maybe sneak 1 or 2 innings more than you maybe would have expected the way Jan's outings have gone.
Yeah, and Hector, to this point, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks in the hit batter. The pitch-by-pitch ratios haven't been great, only 29 strikes to 27 balls, so 50-50 is not where you want to be if you're a pitcher, but despite a lot of deep counts for the Royals, the outs on the base pass have helped, and he's been getting more swing and miss than he hasn't.
Yeah, you certainly have seen that tonight, and it is a 2-1 count that now runs its way up to 3-1. He certainly has worked deep into more than his handful of counts, but as you mentioned there, that's going to happen when you have basically a 50-50 ratio. Impressive he's had as many punch-outs as he has, given the basically 50-50 ratio of balls to strikes. It really speaks to the high quality of his stuff. And, you know, speaking of high quality, he has been very alert regarding the base runners. Herman creeping in again, giving them something to think about at second there, tried to clip the inside of the zone, but he does not, and that'll be another free pass handed out here as the Guelph Royals all of a sudden have runners on first and second, and this is the first time they've kind of truly threatened in this ball game.
And that's one of those things where with the base open at first, once you get to 3-1 against a guy like Garrett Takamatsu, not the worst idea to pitch around. But anyone on the bases now, Luis Bernardo's going to come out to the mound, maybe have a chat, just make sure, hey man, you're all good. First runner in scoring position, no biggie. Doesn't matter, you've been dealing tonight. We'll see if this is followed by some action in the Cardinal bullpen, but either way, just got to focus on the guy at the plate right now with 2 outs.
Yeah, if you take care of business, would very much be in the cards for him. Obviously, this is kind of the time in the game where I think if you were following a game script, you'd think it'd be very much possible that you'd be starting to have those conversations now. You love to get him out of this, and the way he is playing or pitching tonight, you'd love to see if maybe you could get one more out of him beyond this, but obviously you do not want to throw away the lead that you built thus far in this game. This is a huge, huge spot for both the Cardinals and the Royals here in this one.
And Jan right now at 60 pitches, and 15 pitches per inning is kind of the sweet spot. That's kind of where you can reasonably hope to be, but also be considered efficient for a starting pitcher. So, again, really beneficial to just get this guy out and get out of this.
Speaking of which, he gets a foul or fly ball up the right field line, and it'll be Dominguez settling under the lead things here. It is 2-0. We're in the middle of the fourth. Jaden Brown with the homer. Tyler Duncan scoring on a throwing error earlier in the game, and the Cardinals have a 2-0 lead here. It was a first real bit of trouble, and, you know, I think it's important for anybody to kind of be able to get out of little jams like that. I do still see Chris Boada. Bullpen doesn't appear to be a ton of urgency over there, though. So I wouldn't be overly surprised to see Jan come back out for another inning here again, just at the kind of 60 pitch mark, as you mentioned there, Matt.
Yeah, and absolutely. And you know, first pitch with runner in scoring position, he induces a fly out to end the inning, and that's great to see that Hector talking to the cameras right there. All smiles for Hector through 4. Pretty nice innings.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? The way he is, the way he's pitched tonight. I don't know if he's a big dog guy, but he's pitching like he is tonight. Certainly giving him a show to put on. Liam Watt on the mound on the other side of things. You want to talk about settling into the game? Feels like he's done that. And then love about Watt as a young pitcher in this league. Certainly feels like the sky could be the limit for him. You could see the raw tools there for the 22-year-old.
Yeah, there's absolutely a reason why they called upon a guy this young to take a focal role in their starting rotation. And for Watt, you know, you're still at the point, you're still early enough where no experience is really bad experience. And sure, he got ambushed by Brown, gave up that run in the first inning, but that's just going to happen. The Cardinals offense, kind of a different beast than what we've seen from Toronto so far, so he's just got to be.
Yeah, you're certainly seeing that. I'm sure the Cardinals would love nothing more than to hand out another lesson or two tonight before the night is done. You see Watt starting things off with a first pitch strike here in the bottom of 4. Rainy Reyes. This is an old school looking ball player, folks. No batting gloves, the like kind of mid-high pants there. This feels one there, and he taps one back. Is it going to get past Watt? It will not. Man, the length doesn't just help him on the mound; it helps him play a little defense as well. Pitchers, athletes too. Not always, but in this case, Watt certainly proving so. That's a nice defensive play by the 22-year-old.
Yeah, a little bit of emergency hack there by Rainy Reyes on 2 strikes. Doesn't hit it hard, and that was one of those things where if Watt
batting from the right side tonight with the left on the mound, playing the outfield for the first time tonight, as you mentioned. One of the Cardinals imports, you know, you don't have to win with imports in this league, but boy, oh boy, they certainly help. We've seen that from the Cardinals in terms of how important they've been. They hope Feliz is next on the list there. A little late joining the Cardinals into the season, but seems to have his feet, or be trying to get his feet underneath him at this point in the year.
Yeah, and Feliz through the first handful of games, 268 average, 348 on base, 488 slug. Those are all pretty good numbers, especially for a guy who's playing his home games in a pitcher's park like this. So that's kind of going to be the level that they're going to hope to see Feliz continue at. And I know he's not necessarily in an RBI spot here with nobody on base and one out, but again, 11 RBIs, second on the team. You got to have those run producers in the middle of your order.
Yeah, there's that patient approach that we've seen from the Cardinals up and down the lineup tonight. Outside of Brown, who ambushed the first pitch of an AB, it's been a pretty patient Cardinals team, and we see it there from Feliz paying dividends as he ends up on first base, drawing the walk there. And it'll be Evan McGill, whose fingerprints have been all over this behind home plate, also making a nice play on a chopper in front of the mound. He would certainly love to add to it from an offensive perspective here.
Yeah, anything you can get with the bat from Evan at this point would be gravy on top of the 2 caught stealings already.
And there's a chopper. It's going to be a tough play to the second baseman. Watt once again going to have to cover. Does he get his foot there in time? He does. A lot of good communication. And once again, Watt having to range over to first base there.
Yeah, this has been a fine defensive inning for the Royals. Young left-hander there, Giraldo. It's tough to hit a moving target, but that was a great throw from him too. McGill hit that one too hard for Takamatsu to do anything with it. Bounces over his head, but the second baseman and pitcher connect to make the out.
And here is the first base. Looking to add to the Cardinals' lead. He's got Feliz on second. It is 2 outs, so he'll have to get a knock if he wants to drive him in. RBI situation for Rempel, and he slashes at one, but it'll go foul on the first base side. Rempel digging in again here. This is a player that's been in and out of the lineup. They've featured several different players at first tonight to position the full of that. We see Watt with a quick check back on Feliz at second. Rempel all over that one. He's fouled one off to each side, so if he could only straighten it out, to have a little better luck. Although, as we've mentioned with Watt, if you're going to hit it hard on the ground, that's generally speaking something he's okay with, because that's very much the MO for the ground ball pitcher on the mound for the Royals tonight.
Yeah, Watt.
It's not that. It doesn't look like off speed, but Rempel finding a way to stay all over it. And again, you mentioned the Cardinals' pen is in great shape. Maybe the Guelph Royals, not as much. So every time you're able to foul one off against Watt here, it's only going to help you more and more as you get deeper and deeper into this game, especially with the lead that you've got there. You imagine
only had 3 relievers listed on their lineup card tonight. That's hard to believe. Only Brandon Deans, Merrick Deska, and Kevin Escorcia listed. Now, those are some of their better relievers, of course, but the sooner the Cardinals can get Watt out of this game, the better it'll look for them.
Yeah, you certainly will see that there tonight. Rempel Memorial Stadium, and the we always love to thank our friends at Rawlings.
Nothing for the Cardinals in from that one.
My first professional goal.
Park. Again, the Cardinals not giving the Dogs too much to chase after, although I imagine 1 or 2 tried to bound after the Jaden Brown bomb that we saw earlier on in the game today. That added to the Cardinals' lead, making it 2-0. The first run of the day coming across to score, that was from Tyler Duncan, scoring on a throwing error that we saw from the Royals. Royals have certainly cleaned up the defense, as we saw in that last inning there. It was very much a feature for them, as opposed to a bug earlier on in the game. But the story of the game, though, thus far,
pick off so far.
And we'll see if he's able to pick back up where he left off. There's Rempel eating one. Oh, that's got a sting. Immediate check from Herman as the ball scoots over to the shortstop, Nickel. Man, yeah, you talk about an awkward hop. That is the definition of it there. Rempel been bit by the injury bug a little bit in his time here, and you just see it there. That one taking a hop up. Seemed to have hit him kind of right in that kind of cheekbone area. I can assure you that did not tickle. Gamer, though, appears to be sitting up, appears to be not too much worse for wear, but man, oh man, that had to hurt from Rempel.
That was a very hard hit ball, and it's tough to see with the where exactly it hit him. That was, again, a very hard hit ball. It ate him up pretty good. Quick check from the training staff, though, and he appears to be staying in this ballgame.
Yeah, you love to see him up on the feet. There's not anybody in the world that would like to experience that, but especially if you have a history of concussions like he does there. You saw the shades go flying on that. Again, you don't know if that's just momentum of body or momentum of baseball. He does wear them almost Andreas Jimenez style on the back of the hat there. He seems to be able to yuck it up. And again, important trait for a first baseman out there, everybody. But Rempel getting checked on there by the Guelph Royals batter, and it's part of the game. You know, you can't play baseball mad. Well, you can try, but it's usually not all that effective. And you see it there with the checkup on Rempel, and you hope he's going to be okay because he's been important for the Cards, especially over at first base with the defensive plays. But I don't know that you would have been able to make that one tonight. You do see a check on the bunt there as Rempel comes charging in, unable to make the play there though. But it will be the strike on Nadal here for the Royals.
Yeah, and Guelph trying to do anything they can here to make something happen offensively. They've only got one man into scoring position. Once again, so far in this ballgame, Nadal, the latest to show bunt.
Yeah, and he shows it right again. Certainly not shy about it.
I guess bunt play on, nobody covering second, so there you go.
There you go. That's the definition of indifference there. I was wondering if we thought it was a walk situation, but no, Nadal's still at the dish, and if they're going to give you the base, you probably should take it. We'll see if he squares again. I'd find it hard to see so after he's already whiffed on a couple in this AB. But all of a sudden, for the second straight inning, there is a runner in scoring position for the Guelph Royals. Cardinals starting to play with a bit of fire here. Hector Jan on the bump. He's showing a propensity for picking off tonight. Nichols continuing to work in, messing with the timing of the runner at second there. Nadal looking at that one. That'll be a ball again on Jan in the count here. Starting to show to handle this. The Cardinals nursing a 2-0 lead here. No outs in the top of fifth. Runner on second. Nadal at the dish. He's already shown bunt a few times here in this AB. You see Reyes in at the corner here, certainly still thinking about it, and he shows bunt again, finally gets the strike. We'll see if that eliminates the ability for him to, and you'll see him again here as he digs into the box. You've got Jan looking at things here, trying to work out of this jam. For the second straight time, there's a runner on second. No check thus far as Nichols starts to creep in. There is a little bit of a check from him. He delivers the pitch and blows it past Nadal. He's able to get a first, no outs. All of a sudden with one, you're probably not going to be seeing that play.
Yeah, got to figure it's out of order now, and that was a nice job by Jan to really just bear down there. He got the ground ball he wanted to start off the inning, of course, hit blisteringly hard for the infield hit for Victor Mascai, and then fell behind a little bit after failing to get Nadal to chase a couple of those
in and out. And when you've already picked off a runner tonight, you imagine the infielders creeping in behind you carries a little bit of extra currency. Of course, the pickoff coming at first. If you missed it earlier in this inning, Rempel eating a hard ground ball, took an awkward hop right in front of him, stayed in the game though, appears to be no worse for second time tonight. First time he was able to get the batter or the runner at first, nearly got the runner at second there, and we're going to see how dangerously close this is. Great job of Herman sneaking in, but just able to get a foot in there before the tag is applied.
Yeah, right call. Always nice when replay can confirm that.
You know, it's such a fine line to walk. Obviously, you want to be aggressive. If you have a pickoff move like that, you want to use it. But at a certain point in time, you do just kind of want to bear down and deal with the batter in front of you. Obviously, if you can nuke a base runner, it goes a long, long way in helping the inning. But so does dealing with what's on your plate, including the batter that you see up there now. The left. Ben Herman kind of playing mind games here. Now it is the righty up to bat, so you're going to see the second baseman be the one creeping in. It was Nickel for the last batter that we saw here. Jan looking for the strike, and he delivers there. Gets the second strike of the at-bat, looking to avoid any damage here. This is the second straight inning that there has been a runner in scoring position for the Royals. They've been hard-pressed to press for much offense tonight. The Cardinals getting theirs done via the long ball and via a throwing error. We'll see how they're able to big chase there for the second strike of the at-bat.
Yeah, Matt Ward found himself in a hitter's count, was on the verge of taking his second walk of the day, and then that's what Jan can do. Even if it's in the zone, sometimes he can just blow it right by you. This is a pressure pitch now for the Royals catcher.
Yeah, certainly is. This is very much a hinge point in the inning, and this inning feels like it could be a bit of a hinge point. Great frame runners on first and second for Guelph.
And the number 9 hitter, Ashton Patterson, coming up now. The double play will be in order, and you got to watch out for it with him. Again, this is not a guy with a ton of raw power. The infield might look to turn one here if it's anywhere close to remotely possible.
Yeah, we've got man's best friend in the building tonight with the second highest on-base percentage in the league entering play tonight. They will have the lefty-lefty matchup at their disposal. Third baseman in on the corner, so probably not looking to get the lead runner. Again, if you're looking for two, probably easier to do it at first and second, but we will see how things play out. Earlier in this game, when the Royals were looking to turn two in a similar position, outside. Jan looking for the strike on the outside, just missing there, and it'll be a ball to Patterson here. This is a guy that's going to want to see a lot of pitches. If you don't have a lot of pop and you do have some wheels, generally speaking, that's the way you want to go. He's been very patient thus far in this game. Jan checking at second.
And that'll send the Dogs into a frenzy.
It would. Yeah, I don't know if, I certainly am very interested in watching the baseball game tonight. That might be more interesting if we get a literal dog pile with a foul ball in play. I'm trying to think of the best place for it to be. There's certainly plenty behind us here, although down the left field line, it looks like there's Here it is, Hector Jan, 2-2 is the count, 2 outs in the game, and we got a top of fifth here, a little time from Patterson. I don't know if that's gamesmanship. I don't know if he had a bug in his eye. It doesn't matter. Hector Jan's going to have to wait a minute here as Patterson does get time granted. Steps back, does not get it. They go to check and appeal, does not swing. A lot of people in this park unhappy with that call. You love an engaged fan base. Maybe not in that direction, but I certainly wouldn't begrudge anyone for feeling that way. You're going to see Jan try to deal and try to get out of this. Once again, it is a full for the Guelph Royals, and it's going to be the top of the order in Dos Santos coming up here, the left fielder tonight.
Yeah, third time through coming up now for Jan against this Royals lineup, and you got to give Patterson credit for at least hanging tough and getting deep in counts here, but that is twice now where
everybody along. You're just looking to get a knock here if you're the Royals. This is, again, the second straight inning that they've had runners on first and second. That would mean the second straight inning that they've had runners in scoring position. There are bodies moving around. There is one player throwing down in the Cardinals' pen there, but
81 pitches after that called strike there on Ryan DeSantos Garcia through last Saturday in Brantford. 1 2/3 scoreless innings from him there, looking to keep the good vibes rolling for him when he comes into this one.
I'm sure he would love nothing more than to wait an inning before he gets into this one as Jan tries to get out of the jam here. We'll see if they start the runners. They do not. You wouldn't want to force the issue. Nothing wrong with forcing it, but you want to pick your spots. And with the top of the order coming up and a couple of ducks on the pond, you imagine you just let the bat eat here. That's certainly what Dos Santos is going to look to do. Jan digging in, quick check on first, quick check on second, but there's no point because nobody's being held. This is just about who's at the dish right now. That one's inside. It's going to get away from McGill. If you're going to run on McGill and try to take the extra bag, you better be certain the way he's been chucking it tonight.
And once again, DeSantos, we know how much he likes to take a walk. 3-1 here if Hector can place one. I can't imagine it's an automatic green light from a guy like this.
Well, we'll see how they play it out. There's the pitch. Did not look to be much of a green light at all. Did not look to be much of a pitch to swing at. And all of a sudden, you want to talk about a hinge point in the game. We are certainly looking at one right now. You got the two-hitter coming up for the Guelph Royals. You got the bases loaded. This is Anthony Gilbert, as dangerous a hitter as there is in the CBL.
Yeah, and I
did his best, Matt.
Well, Garcia, he has experience closing, and I think that plays a big factor when you come into a bullpen and you're not necessarily expected to be that fireman and be that ninth inning guy. He's kind of freed up now, pitching in a middle relief role for the Cardinals. Doesn't really, have to think about the whole game necessarily resting on his shoulders, and I think Mike Kinnear just threw out Hector Jan. He's already out of the game, but home plate ump Mike Kinnear just pointed into the dugout and threw somebody out. He was jawing with Jan, and now Luis Bernardo is going to come and see what that's all about.
I got to be honest. I mean, if you must, he's already out of the game.
Yeah.
Go for it. I would imagine, to anybody here, and yeah, it does look like he'll be leaving the festivities here. He would have been anyways. His night was over, but you wonder what he said on his way out. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it involves something he thought about the strike zone, but certainly must have said a magic word or two. And you know what, honestly, if it allows the ump to get from the home plate ump there.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, thankfully Jan was not being tasked with throwing another pitch in this one, and it was a pretty good outing for him. I think the strike zone got away from him a little bit toward the end, and you'd hate to be a starting pitcher and not be able to relax right away. Spot here to face Anthony Gilbert, who has been one of the more dangerous hitters in this league ever since he debuted for the Royals a couple weeks ago. And what a point in this ball game.
Big spot here in Hamilton. It's a big game in Hamilton tonight. Ticats home to the BC Lions. They're up at the half. Plenty going on in the Canadian Baseball League as well. We'll update you on that as things go on. We got bigger fish to fry right here, though, now. There are ducks on the pond. Danny Garcia has just come into the mound. Wonderful teal glove he's got there for number 15 for the Cardinals in white and red tonight. We'll see how he's able to handle Gilbert, one of the toughest hitters in the league. From Gilbert there, that ball was hit hard. Duncan doing everything he can to get to it, unable to do so, and it is Anderson Feliz that ends up throwing the ball in, but too little, too late, as the Cardinals now trail this game 3-2 after the bases clearing double.
So that is, and how about Anthony Gilbert facing a righty for the first time? Not a problem, even though he was neutralized there by the platoon advantage. First pitch swinging, and he almost hit it out for a grand slam. Cardinals are lucky that one stayed in the park.
Yeah, certainly was close. We're seeing a little show to bunt here. Garcia on the mound here. Second batter he's faced. Second righty he will get a chance to face tonight, and he'll have a chance. Ball two. See Garcia working here again. This is a guy who's been a fireman spot. When you're the fireman, you want to put it out. Now, again, he had nothing to do with the fact that the bases were loaded, but you come in, got to be frustrating to not be able to get the job done, especially the way the bottom half of the Cardinals inning here to come in the bottom of fifth. Garcia trying to get out of this jam here, though, after giving up the 3-run double. It's a 1-2 count on Guelph Royals here. It's 2 outs in the top of the fifth, and we got a runner on second. And really, for the first time tonight, I think played out in this top of 5 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, they must not have, and there's a couple ways to look at that. If you're Hector Jan, coming into this one, he'd only given up 1 run on the season, so those are the second, third, and fourth runs he's given up all year. Of course, he wasn't going to throw a shutout ball forever, but it's a tough way to go, and it's all out of your control now once you get lifted. And Garcia
out of this. There's a little feigning from Herman, a little deke. And the good thing he was feigning, because that ball is hit right up the middle to where he was going. Ranges over to his left to make the play. Fires a strike to Rempel, and Garcia gets out of it, but not before giving up a bases-clearing triple. Offense, Matt, it really does feel like a team effort. Obviously, Jaden Brown feels like he's provided the biggest pop. We'll see him in this, but I think that's the beauty of what the Cardinals have kind of built offensively here, is you're not going to look at one player to really kind of lead and carry the mail for you. Obviously, Tyler Duncan's going to be important, and we can name other players, but it does really feel like they've tried to have threats up and down this lineup.
Yeah, and the Cardinals haven't quite done this yet tonight, but what they've done all season and what's made them a great offense to this point in the year is their ability to string hits together, put up that crooked, kind of feels like what it's going to take here. 9-1-2 coming up. Jaden Brown going to lead it off. Feel like it's going to be in a good spot to start a rally here.
Yeah, you see the wonderful sights and sounds. Wonderful job by our Cable 14 crew there. One of our wonderful camera operators. Oh, look at them. We get Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. Cardinals in town tonight, hosting the Guelph Royals for the second time this season. They put up a 2 spot, and that was good up until the top of fifth when the Royals put up 3. We'll see if they can get back on track here. And someone who's put them back on track in a big way was Jaden Brown. And it is a strike to Jaden Brown to start things off. Got to be good for Brown to feel like he can, continue to be a difference maker for this offense and what he was able to do with the big blast. And, they'll take him any way they come. Obviously, that's the easiest way to score a run, but this Cardinals offense certainly capable of kind of stacking hits together, taking their walks. And
54 pitches now coming into this at-bat against Carlos Dominguez, so definitely ahead of Jan in terms of pitches per out, pitches per plate appearance. So the Cardinals kind of got to reverse that trend again. The Royals don't have all their relievers here tonight, not even close. So this has kind of got to be the inning where they see an opportunity, smell blood in the water, and take.
Good one, unable to make the play as the catcher, and the Cardinals have got men on first and second. Excellent way to answer here. You got a good knock from Brown, and then you end up seeing a bunt from Dominguez there to hand things over to Tyler Duncan, and you got ducks on the pond for Duncan. It's a good place to be.
What a reaction from double play attempt, throwing error in the first inning, and Matt Ward tried to go a little too quickly there, and Dominguez's speed would have made it a tough play anyway. And now what a spot here. You have Duncan up with 2 men on and nobody out.
Yeah, bare hand pick, tough play as it is, especially when you're rushing to make the throw for a speedy runner at first. You see Duncan squaring the bunt. Little surprised by that, Matt. this time, and he'll just take the one at first. Man, that's a close play. Duncan's got wheels there. See some of the kids in the crowd tapping their head. We know what that means. They want a challenge there. Obviously, it won't come. That's a very, very quick play by Duncan there. What do you make of them bunting with Duncan in that situation, Matt? You know, there certainly could have been a little evidence there. If you want to go find a freeze frame, I'm sure you could. Darlin Herman lifting one high to left field. We'll see if it's deep enough for the tag, and there it's going to go. We see the runner coming in from third, and he will easily score. Nice little pop-up slide, very sexy from Jaden Brown there, and we find the Cardinals tying things up. That is exactly what you want to see. You want to see somebody answering after you get a good outing that ends up going awry at the very end. Nice sack fly there from the Cards, and they've got a tie here. Back on track, tying things up. It is 3-3 through 5 innings here at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. It's another wonderful edition of Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14.
Introducing the all-new Cable14.com. Watch what you want, when you want. Watch all of Cable 14's content live or use the website's TV guide to search for your favorite program.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, hey there, my name is Steven Sobot, and I'm your host for Breaking Pack, the show that opens up the latest and newest trading cards to see what we can find inside these boxes to quench your thirst for cardboard addiction.
Got a close one here at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium as the Cardinals welcome the Guelph Royals to town tonight. It is heading into the 6th inning. We're in the top of 6 here. Danny Garcia on the mound, and it is 5-5. Garcia, first pitch of the inning, gets a ground ball to the shortstop, Brandon Nickel, who flyers that across the diamond to Matt Rempel. Anytime you're able to get Takamatsu out on one pitch, you got to be pretty happy with it, especially the way the last inning went for Garcia, obviously running into some trouble. He came into some trouble and was unable to get himself out of the spot. Got to feel good to get Takamatsu in one pitch there.
Yeah, way to put it behind you there for Garcia and get a one pitch out. And the train's going to keep on moving here for the Cardinals. This game now up to the bullpen. Next up is lefty Logan Workington warming up in there. We'll see what pocket of the lineup Luis Bernardo wants to bring him in for.
Garcia working quickly here, trying to get ahead, and he does exactly that. It is a first pitch strike. Seemed to get it with the breaking ball there. Anytime you can throw a breaking ball for strikes early in a count, that just sets up everything else you're able to do. If you're able to be confident with that, it's got to have you feeling good. That one is slashed into right field. That's going to be some trouble cutting away from the right fielder. It's going to go for at least 2, and in comes the throw to second there, and it will be a stand-up double.
Just given and shoot it the other way for a double, and now you're in a spot where the lefty Mascai is up, and Luis Bernardo is going to elect to go for another mound visit here. You've got Mascai up. Nadal is also a lefty. He is on deck. And then Matt Ward is in the hole, but after him it is Ashton Patterson, who is also a lefty. So, and it looks like
I think we just got the signal from Bernardo there. It does look like we'll get that. Danny Garcia, they're all not Picassos. I think he'd like this one to have gone a little bit better. Started off this inning well, but of course coming into the game in a bases-loaded situation, tough spot to be in, and could not get out of the 3-3 here, and for the third time tonight, or the third different Cardinals pitcher we will see this evening here. As you mentioned, little pocket of lefties coming up, so they hand things over to the lefty. What can you tell us about the new Cardinals pitcher, Matt?
Yeah, Logan Workington is one of those guys who is tough on lefties because of that fastball breaking ball combination. He is not afraid to use that pitch when he can locate it properly. Workington last pitch a couple Sundays ago versus the Welland Jackfish. He came into the 8th inning with a 3-2 lead. The Jackfish would tie it off him before he left, but that was on a seeing eye base hit, just one of those classic bloop singles. It was virtually a pop-up. Nothing you can really do about that if you're Workington, so he's going to hope for better for Cardinals last season toward the second half and into the playoffs, and that is going to be what he tries to do here against Mascai and Nadal, two lefties coming up here as we get set for the gateway to the bottom of the Royals order.
Yep, big spot here. Quick little check on the out-of-town scoreboard. Nothing changed in the Hamilton Tiger Cats score. They're still up a 6. The Barrie Bay Cats have a 5-3 lead in Toronto on the Leafs. Well, the Guelph Royals and Hamilton Cardinals right here are tied up at 3s. We're in the top of 6 here tonight. It is a wonderful night. Sun has set here. Got a little pink in the sky. Honestly, extremely picturesque here. I don't know if that's the sky playing tricks on him or, as you said, a guy who hasn't played a lot of outfield there, but no pictures on the scorecard, and he's able to retire the batter.
It's just like riding a bike. Feliz got a little turned around there, but luckily planted himself under that ball at the last second. I'm sure that was a long few seconds for Luis Bernard.
Third time tonight, he does not. He's already thrown out a couple of base runners tonight. Has McGill looking to get ahead of things, throwing out the runner heading to third, and what a big moment that would have been, but unable to do it for McGill there.
Yeah, and I think that might be mind games more than anything else from Miguel. He rolled
up at the plate, and here comes the pitch. It's in the dirt and blocked by McGill. That's a big play. The extra 90 feet, that's where it hurts you. If that ball scoots past McGill and Geraldo's able to slide in there to home, but that's a great job by McGill to keep it in front of him here. Defensive skills have been on full display for McGill tonight, not just with the arm, but what he's able to do in terms of blocking pitches there. Some out and gets out of the jam, and it is the third out of the inning, and we're headed to the bottom of 6. The Cardinals looking to get back on top. They had the first 2 runs of the game. It was a big 5th inning for the Guelph Royals that got them on top. Cardinals clawing it back, and we now head to the bottom of 6 as the...
Yeah, and again, he's in a great spot. 42 of his 60 pitches have been strikes, and 60 pitches through 5 innings. That is exactly where you want to be. If you're Liam Watt, the Royals are going to let him go here again. Only 3 relievers on that lineup card. I cannot get enough of Bark at the Park. What a fun night this is.
Do you have a dog, Matt?
I do. She was actually here last year.
Okay.
I brought her at the start of my workday.
By her name.
She's a golden doodle mix. Her name is Bo. She is a girl dog, obviously, but definitely Bo Bichette was a non-negligible part of the naming process, shall we say. She just turned 6 last week, and yeah, got to be more Barks in the Parks with her in the future.
That is that's awesome to hear. Never had a dog myself. I basically adopted my neighbor's Labrador Retriever. It's perfect. I get all the fetch and pats I want, and then I don't have to pick up any of the waste. So that's pretty nice too. We certainly like that. And my kid stops bugging me to get one because he gets to play with the dog all the time next door. So honestly, perfect for me. Great to see. It has not been the case tonight. Rainy Reyes up, and he hits one up the middle. It'll be right to the shortstop. Fires it over to first. Has to get dug out, and he'll be unable to do so. Rainy Reyes is going to reach on the error there. Nice piece of hitting, or at least nice piece of running out the mediocre hitting that you saw from Reyes.
They struck out a lot. They managed to hit for power, but those strikeouts and leaving men on base just ended up being too much to handle for them. And that's one of the reasons why you want to put the ball in play, because you never know what the opposing defense is going to do. And for how good of a night Anthony Gilbert has had at the plate, that was a low throw. Bounce it over to Takamatsu. Takamatsu is a corner
there, and then you see the error there, allowing Reyes, Rainy Reyes to reach base. We'll see if the Cardinals, as you mentioned, are able to take advantage. Anytime you can start the inning with a base runner, it's a pretty good spot to be. Reyes creeping off first there. We'll see how active he is in this. Obviously, Feliz is a pretty capable hitter in his own right. Lots of ways.
Would have had it, but man, if you're Feliz, you might have to look back out that way again. A ball into the right field corner would be all kinds of chaos here in this inning.
Yeah, certainly would be, and it's very much a feature of this ballpark. If you're able to land it fair and have it run foul, there is a lot of room on either foul on it, but not the deepest behind the dish there. In terms of what's available in terms of foul ball real estate, it's all up the right and left field line. You see Feliz slash that one foul again for the second time in this at-bat, finding a way to stay alive. It is a 1-2 count on the Dominican. The reaction from Feliz is not that I blame him.
Yeah, that was almost just a natural reaction. He had to let go of the bat to make sure he wouldn't get hit. And nice little acrobatic move there.
Athlete. Look, you know what that looks like? That looks like Summer Games. I don't know what the apparatus is called, but a gymnast flip for the Cardinals. Feliz probably a little frustrated there. Thought he got some good wood on it, but wasn't able to push it far enough foul. As I mentioned, a lot of real estate for the corner outfielders to go get these balls if they're in foul territory, and you saw it there.
And a dull, nice range to chase that one down. Rainy Reyes probably thought it was going to be foul. That's why he was late getting back to the bag.
Yeah, very, very close play. Much closer than he would have liked. McGill's had some close plays here, throwing out a couple of runners at the plate. Also nearly throwing out Geraldo in the last inning at third that you saw from home plate. But yes, you do see the balk call. It'll be Reyes standing on second, certainly changing the complexion of this inning a little bit. Obviously not really a sacrifice situation. You don't want to push a guy to third with 2 outs here with 1, but we'll see how that changes things for Luis Bernardo and his club. Bottom half of the lineup's been a little dangerous tonight. It is a foul tip, and it'll be the first strike of the AB.
Tell you what, Brent, that might have been what happened. Now that I think about it, on the bunt play when Gilbert just kind of randomly waltzed into second a few innings ago. Ben Mercier might be a little buck happy down there at first base.
Yeah, you want it consistent, as we've said all along, if that's going to be the way it goes. We've seen it once, potentially twice tonight. McGill looking to do a little damage here as he watches one. Great eye, a close pitch on the outside, but he watches it go by for ball 3.
And McGill hasn't been ahead in the count too much tonight against Watt. Tough lefty. You just got to battle and see pitches, and he's trying to do that here.
Yeah. Oh, he does! And all of a sudden, the Cardinals have runners on first and third for the guy who has proved to be the most dangerous batter for them tonight. Here he comes up to the dish, the man who put a power charge into one. It'll be Jaden Brown. And we see the play there. It's a tough play by the shortstop. Has to range to his left. Great split.
Gilbert to at least knock it down, but McGill hit that one hard enough. Probably going to be scored a hit. And again, nice recovery attempt too on the throw. He made it pretty close, but now the Cardinals knocking on the door here. Dino Ramel, slow walk out to the mound, and normally when it's a slow walk, it means a pitching change, but hitters do up for the Cardinals. But again, Tanner Rempel has been having a great year, hitting over 300 on the season coming into this one, and then Brown with the home run earlier. You do not want to mess around with these guys. See Tanner Rempel talking to Luis Bernardo at third base, talking about what his plan might be. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Just got to get the ball deep enough in the air to the outfield.
Love to turn 2 and avoid turning this to Brown, who has the lone big fly that we've seen so far in this game. There is Rempel watching strike 1 on the inside there. Goes back to Bernardo looking for his signs. We'll see the way they play this from the Cardinals' perspective. Again, Jaden Brown with the lone blast in the game gave the Cardinals a 2-0 lead. Guelph charging back with 3 a couple of innings later. Fireman's name is Liam Watt for the Guelph Royals tonight. See Rempel squaring the bunt there, and the throw goes back to first where McGill slides back in, and he's able to do so. A little curious bunt attempt, but again, the Cardinals have been unafraid to get creative, mix and match, and find a way to score some runs tonight. A healthy lead from Reyes at third there. McGill fouling one off. That'll just go off to over our heads and to the right. Very healthy lead from Reyes at third there. Obviously, with Rempel being the right-handed batter he is, maybe makes the back pick at third a little more challenging, like you've seen going over to first there. Obviously, nobody occupying the lefty batters appeared to be. And again, with his injury history, very, very happy to just see him in the ballgame there. Tough customer who digs in here. Is he able to get a base hit? He is, and that'll drive in Reyes. It'll send McGill to third. He's going to make the turn, and there comes the throw. Big slide from McGill. Turns into the headless horseman. Uh-oh, is Rempel hung up? It's exactly what it is. Here comes the throw, and we will see
chaos from unfolding there. It all started when Rempel, very good 2-strike approach there. Nice base hit. Took a pretty wide turnaround first base, got himself hung up. But then the throw back home after he was tagged out, as Evan McGill made the turnaround third, as he was hoping that the middle infielders were preoccupied with Rempel. Maybe he'd be able to scratch another run across. Matt Ward had to dive and make sure that ball didn't get to the backstop. If he didn't trap that ball, there would have been 2 runs scoring on that play.
There certainly would have been. That one is hit foul, but there will be room to make the play, and that's exactly what the first baseman for the Royals does, which ends the threat here. Jaden Brown flying out into foul territory, but the Cardinals are able to scratch one across for the second straight inning, and all of a sudden they are back on top. It is 4-3 here after 6 innings. Cardinals have answered every time. They started out with the first 2 runs of the game, gave up 3, and have answered back a couple of times here, and now they find themselves up 4-3 once again in this game. It's been a very resilient Cardinals team tonight, and the reason we're able to be so resilient here at Cable 14 Baseball is because of our friends at Little Caesars, and we'll see the third different Cardinals pitcher come back into this game. It's Warnock that's been able to come in here. Obviously a very important frame for the Cardinals that they find themselves in. You know, they've done want to be able to shut the door after getting back on top again.
Yeah, and last inning was Workington's biggest 2 outs of the season so far in the early going, no doubt about it. And his work was cut out for a man on second, 1 out, 2 lefties up to bat. You just got to mow him down, and he got a quick fly out and then a strikeout of Davis Nadal to get the Cardinals on Workington's plate this inning. If he can get through this inning, that will be 5 outs in relief for him. That would go a long way towards preserving the Cardinals bullpen. They have 2 more games this weekend, of course, at Chatham tomorrow, and then back here on Sunday against those same Barnstormers to complete the home and home. So got to try and be in tip-top shape for both of those games, while also
the bus, it's good for sleeping, not so good when you're behind the wheel. Look, a lot of scenery between here and London. What you got from London to Chatham, I hope you like fields, because you're going to see a lot of them. And I say that as a man who met my wonderful wife in Windsor, so I'm allowed to make that joke, okay? I don't know if you have, Matt, so I would keep your powder dry there. We'll see how the Cardinals. I'm not going to be able to. It will be McGill, and he's able to do that. That ball hit a mile high in the sky. You just see the confidence from McGill on those high pop-ups behind the dish. Toss the mass, find the ball, make the play. Really exactly how you teach it at any level of baseball.
Yeah, and it's good to see that from a catcher especially. It's hard to read the trajectory of the ball. Nicely done by McGill. What a night for him behind the plate, as you said.
Yeah, he's been nails. Attempting to throw at a couple of base runners, managing to throw at a couple of base runners as well, and you see him make the out there. Ashton Patterson coming to the dish. This is a guy that just finds a way. Not necessarily going to deliver the big knock, but with no one on base.
Yeah, and it feels crazy to call Patterson a veteran at 21 years old, but this is his 5th year in the CBL. He debuted with the Royals at the age of 17 in 2022. He's been around a while. They've made some good runs with him as a part of this lineup.
He considers Liam Watt an old man, is what he young age. You see him find a way to clip the top of the zone there, and the Cardinals getting on the board with their first strike of the AB. It is a 1-1 count here to Ashton Patterson, 1 out, and it's the top of 7 here. And we see rear back and deliver. Does he check the swing? He is able to hold up despite the appeal to the
team is hitting well. You can often look there, Patterson. Full counts don't show up in the box score, but he's been making pitchers work all night.
And obviously they'd love to get as much out of this reliever as they're able to, but there is another arm up in the pen. It is Caleb Sorosky, my boy. I threw him the first pitch on my first night here, and he did a great job framing it after I went a little high. And you see the Cardinals turning to their lefty here, who's done a pretty good job, and he's trying to do it with the top of the order bat in Dos Santos, the left fielder for the Royals. Great pitch there, clipping the outside of the zone, and this really seems to be settling into a called for a ball there.
And that is the pitch for Workington when he is on. You saw it get strike 2 there. That breaking ball bending down and away for a called strike on the low and outside corner to the lefty. That is his bread and butter.
See if he goes back to it. Nope, brings the heat, and Dos Santos is able to get a piece of it, but foul. Continue the battle. Always fun to watch the kind of chess match in and at bat here. You have the lefty-lefty matchup. You've seen him go outside, been able to catch that clip the zone for strike 3. We'll see if he's able to do that here. Once again, going back to that pitch, and once again, it is fouled off by Dos Santos. Great little cat and mouse game at play here.
A couple pitches ago, Workington quick pitched him with a fastball.
In these two teams, Guelph has played 1 more on the year than the Cardinals have. Got a couple of outs in the top of 7 here, and you're looking at Workington trying to get out of the jam. Caleb Sorosky is warming in the pen. I'm sure he would love nothing more than to not get into this game until at least 1 inning later. Workington delivering the pitch to Dos Santos, and it's foul.
Workington, McGill couldn't quite squeeze that last one.
Certainly is, and there it is. Squeeze it indeed. McGill able to do that, and it is a strike 3. Another K for the Cardinals tonight, and we're going to head to the bottom of 7 here as the Cardinals will look to add to their lead. It is 4-3 so far. About maybe what was said. Does not seem too thrilled as the home plate umpire about whatever it was that Workington had to say as he was headed to the dugout after a very fiery strikeout.
Yeah, and the bench has got to keep their wits about him here. Big moment in the ball game. You love to see the emotion. You don't. Not sure who spoke first. It was definitely jawing between both parties by the end of it all. Dos Santos and Workington going back and forth after Ryan was on his way back to the dugout.
Seeing a pretty animated discussion here from Bernardo and Workington. Obviously, the manager wants to have his players back here, but as a manager, you also got to keep your team in line. And
yeah, and Mike Kinnear was right up close and personal with that Cardinal dugout. Workington explaining there to his teammates what he was saying. He seems to be under the impression, if I can read body language correctly, of course I'm no John Boy Brent, I can't quite read lips to that CIA level that some people can, but Workington seems to be saying something along the lines of, hey, whatever I said, nothing consequential came out of it there for the Cardinals.
Is he done? Can I toss him like I did Hector Jan earlier in the game? Probably not the way the conversation was going. Certainly not the way Bernardo would want to have it going. You'd imagine Soroski going to come into the game for the 8th inning. Obviously, what happens in this inning will go a long way to deciding that. The Cardinals go into the top of their order. Here's Carlos there at home tonight. And, of course, it is a 4-game night today in the Canadian Baseball League. London continuing to lead Kitchener. Brantford up on Welland. Well, Barrie leads the Toronto Maple Leafs. That one being played in Toronto. Of course, the Cardinals up 4-3 here. That is a healthy cut by Dominguez to start this off as Liam Watt of course, not all of those earned, one of those coming via error at least there, but it has been a very effective night for Watt, the 22-year-old, just making his 3rd appearance in the Canadian Baseball League, and he has looked anything but a rookie tonight. He has looked very, very comfortable on the hill here. The lanky Duncan Cardinals looking to add to their 1-run lead here in the bottom of 7.
Boy, you knew just through those first 8 or so games of the season something wasn't quite right with Dominguez. He was not the guy that Cardinals fans had been accustomed to seeing, and you knew it was only a matter of time before he snapped out of it. He is just scalding baseballs left and right, catching them out front.
You see him squaring a bunt there. Dominguez will look to get to second. He will, but there's the out made to first. And for the 2nd straight at bat, Tyler Duncan sacrifice bunting. This is the example of selflessness that you would take out of a guy who's been a pretty long-serving Cardinal here, 5 years in the league under his belt.
Yeah, and Luis Bernardo clearly playing this game. Insurance run there. The Cardinals are going to try and scratch Dominguez across and make this a 5-3 ball game and kind of not get too ahead of themselves here. They have the lead. There's no sense, at least in Luis Bernardo's mind, of trying to really add on when you have a more efficient way that you could just score one here, as you see the right-hander Brandon.
Darling Herman pumps it, Okbo Taco, a 2-run shot. It's a 6-3 Cardinals lead. That ball was hammered into the night sky. Cue the light show for Darlin Herman.
Who needs a sack bunt when you can hit a 2-run homer?
That'll work. Some big homers in this ballpark this season. That one reminiscent of the one by Evan McGill, but that was a pull job when he hit it out there. Herman going opposite field, and when you know, you know. He goes full, 2 hands up at the plate, almost looking reminiscent of Manny Ramirez back in his Red Sox days. That was an incredible
power in the world. Pull those fly balls to maximize contact as a base hit the other way for Nickel. But that one was hit the opposite way. That is by far the farthest we've seen Herman hit a baseball in a Cardinals uniform. What a swing it is, and this might be one of those cases where if the Royals had more people available in that bullpen, Watt might not be out here right now. They're asking a lot of him, and it's been a value.
Nice piece of hitting by the shortstop, who's been such a key cog here. And yeah, that kind of removes any and all questions about Tyler Duncan sack bunting twice. If you're going to get a power shot like that, I think we're all going to quickly forget about the 2-hole hitter sack bunting twice in the later stages of this game. It's proof of how powerful the long.
Tough with the Royals all game. A bit of a quieter weekend than usual last weekend. The Brantford Red Sox have given them fits for whatever reason, but that is a big swing by Herman and a legendary pimp job to break this one open a little bit here in inning number 7. I'm out there not till his arm falls off, but you know.
Close. Be getting close to it for sure. They would love nothing more than a little ground ball up the middle to get out of this. Reyes obviously would love anything, but there is some room if he's able to hit one into shallow outfield. All the outfielders, or at least the left fielder, playing particularly deep. You hate to steal Jaden Brown's thunder, but that was an incredible blast by Herman. Anytime you could see one out of either side of the park, you're in a pretty good spot. That one coming in tight on Reyes, and you can certainly feel the pitch count starting to get to Watt here. It's no knock on the 22-year-old either. I mean, he's given you everything you could have asked. Extend their lead. It is 6-3 heading into the 8th here at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. It's Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14.
The Frontline returns at 6:30 right here on Cable 14. I'll be sitting down with the chiefs of fire, paramedics, and police, and from time to time, some special guests to educate and inform you of what's going on in our city. Make sure you join us on Cable 14 or cable14.com, again, Friday at 6:30.
no amount of studying can guarantee a gambling win. Find tips for safer play at Gambling is Random.
Dwayne LaForme. How you doing? Haven't seen you for a while.
Welcome back to Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium late in the night. Not that they needed a jolt of energy, but this Cardinals crowd got one. Darling Herman with a blast that has added to the Cardinals lead. It is now 6-3 in the top.
Swarovski, lower arm slot from the right side, four-seam cutter slider changeup from him. That four-seam's got that natural arm side run on it because of that wide release point you see there. And Swarovski, last time out on the mound, it was a tough one. He gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth as the Brantford Red Sox walked it off 6-5 over the Hamilton Cardinals. Swarovski cut his hair, saying he's trying to change the mojo up a little bit. It's been a couple rocky outings for him. He's trying to change things up, and he is the workhorse in this bullpen, plain and simply. He's trying to take the Cardinals as far the rest of the way as he can in this one.
Darling Herman trying to do it all with the glove and the bat, and he does. Absolute bomb of a homer in the bottom of 7 and a web gem in the top of 8 from Darling Herman. He is feeling it, waving to the crowd, little fist bump. Quickly throw a dart to Rempel, who stretches to help him beat the runner to first. That is just incredible defense all around.
What a play. From 2 knees, he fired that ball. What an inning for Herman.
Yeah, this is the Darlin Herman game, certainly trending that way here. It's been about the best 40 minutes I've seen him play, and that's pretty high bar he's set here. Here comes Swarovski again. Wiry righty firing another strike, and once again ahead in the count 0-2. Maybe not as important for a relief pitcher, but anytime you can work efficiently in a ball game, you got to be happy. That's what Swarovski has done thus far in this one.
Yeah, the spin has been too much for Morrow the first 2 pitches. We'll see what he comes back with here.
Morrow committing a pretty key error in this game early on. Now, there's been ups and downs and ebbs and flows that maybe it's not the difference, but it allowed Tyler Duncan to score the game's opening run. There is Swarovski pounding the top of the zone with a fastball, and he'll pick up his first strikeout of the night. And anytime you can be a guy that is tasked with working as often as Swarovski is, again, if you can work efficiently, you feel like it can bode to maybe even more work. And with a busy weekend for the Cardinals here, any pitcher working effectively is gonna.
His dad played for the Hamilton Bulldogs, but he was raised in Louisiana. He pitched 4 years for the University of New Orleans. His dad's various professional hockey ventures took him all over the United States, including to Louisiana. And now he finds himself back where his family roots are in Hamilton, pitching for the Cardinals.
That's quite a journey. And he thought he does. Peers over the grayish glove, and does he catch the outside? He does. There it is. It is a quick inning for Caleb Swarovski. This is a guy that has been incredibly important for the Cardinals this year, and you see it again. Incredibly important weekend for the Cardinals. Not only are they in action tonight, Cardinals looking to add to their lead. They're up 6-3 heading to the bottom of the 8th here. Anytime you can tack on, I don't know how much it'll change the plan for Luis Bernardo and his club, but you're already able to change the situation for Swarovski. You wonder if you could change it again with a little bit more offense.
Product. Deans has been in this league a long time so far this season. 4 appearances, 6 1/3 innings, 1.42 ERA, 9 strikeouts to just 3 walks. Dean's the Mississauga native, 25 years old. This is his 5th CBL season, and with him, it's as it is with most hard-throwing relievers who rely on swing and miss. It's as simple as if he's in the zone, it's good, and if he's not, it really all falls apart. And Dean's 29 walks in 37 innings last season. The whip was up near 2, but there's a wide range of outcomes for pitchers like this. Naturally, when the swing and miss stuff is on, he is around the zone. He is back to take the lead against Luis Ramirez and the Redbirds earlier on in that ball game, and he'll just be looking to stop the bleeding here after Liam Watt. Valiant effort again, 6 runs given up in 7 innings. His evening is done, but the Royals' future pitching plans got to be in good hands if he's playing it to stick around. That was some good stuff from him tonight.
Yeah, if you look at the game and say, in Bowata and Boone as well, but man, it feels like there's a lot of Humber College connections. As a Humber College grad myself, I love to see that. Feliz flipping over to the left side for the first time tonight, obviously working against the lefty through much of the game, and we'll see Feliz for the first time operating as the other side of his switch hitting abilities. See him there swinging a couple of quick strikes on him to the outing for Brendan Deans that we see here, and Feliz looking to get a hit off of the right-hander. It's a 1-2 count. Just on the outside. Feliz not a fan of it, does not like the call. Oh, there it is. There's been a lot of chirping with this Cardinals dugout and the umpire.
His coach getting 2 at it. Whoa. Pedro's going to be shooed away by Ben Mercier. And you're like, hey, don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong, sir. And he's going to walk him back to first. Yeah, it definitely was Feliz. Yeah. Bernardo's back in the game. Good call, Brent. And yeah, Mike Kinnear is, you figure even though nothing came of the Workington situation.
Yeah, I think it was trending towards being that way. Obviously, they'll now need a new left fielder into the game. We'll see who the defensive substitution is there. They would love it if they don't bat again after this inning because things have gone pretty well. But as you mentioned, Feliz's night is done. Evan McGill, the catcher, coming up to the dish. If anybody was going to make some peace with the home plate umpire, you figure it would be the... See McGill digging in here, watching a couple of balls to start the at-bat. That is a big, big cut. We've seen McGill hit a monster shot here. You wonder if he was trying to replicate it. Again, that homer by Herman, probably living large in the minds of, everybody in this ballpark, but specifically his Cardinals teammate. Rempel in the on-deck circle there.
Sinker ball or what?
And there it is, able to get a bat on it, and it goes under the diving second baseman there, and McGill will round first, staying there, picking up another knock tonight. Good job by him, good piece of hitting. Whatever Darlin Herman was able to do at second, they were not able to replicate it on the Guelph Royals side. You saw McGill running there, Rempel swinging, wonder if a hit and run is in play to try to add a little more to this Cardinals lead. It's funny watching bullpen pitchers. You know, I'm looking down at the bullpen there. There's guys staying loose, but I got to be honest, I can't tell if that's practicing a golf swing or just getting ready to come in a baseball game here. There's a lot of just gestures going on down in that Cardinals pen. We see Rempel looking at one, so just missing. Appeared to be a very, very close pitch.
Gotta have fun down there if you're the relievers. If you're not coming to the game, it's a long game. You got to make time pass somehow.
I think it's safe to assume I have spent, I don't know, from the time I turned 28 to my undisclosed age now, I think I've spent about 3% of my adult life. Looks like it down there. We see McGill at first, not taking too big of a lead, hands on the knees. Don't think the hit and run's in play. There is a hit, but it'll end up being foul from Rempel there, just over the right field bleachers, as the first baseman will dig in as he stays alive here on the 1-2 count. McGill running, and there will be no throw as it skips away, and there will be all of a sudden a runner in scoring position for the Cardinals as Evan McGill saunters over to second base. He was running anyways, but once Ward was unable to pick it, that was an easy advancement for Evan McGill.
And definitely judging by the 5-footer from Brandon Deans gets away from Ward, and off to second goes McGill. And you're hoping, as you were saying about the temperature cooling between the Cardinals dugout and Mike Kinnear, you just hope that there's no more kind of repercussions from what happened today. You know, every time there's an ejection, they have to write a report. Hopefully nothing more comes of this, and we can all just...
Those reports. I always want to know what the magic word was. I don't think I could tell you. If they're going to toss him out of a game for it, I guarantee I can't say it. Not here, at least, but it doesn't mean I don't want to know. Rempel fouling one back, kind of straight over our heads there. He's done a good job of getting bat to ball tonight. You can easily see why. It's been somebody that's been trusted. Tried all day to frame it, but he wasn't going to get the call there. And Rempel, an excellent job of watching one here. You see this patient Cardinals approach at the plate, paying dividends for them again here. In terms of these busy weekends, you know, the Cardinals have not been shy about using their pitchers tonight. You know, obviously, Jan with a good outing there. But the Cardinals have got runners on the corner for a guy who's gone deep tonight in Jaden Brown.
How about Evan McGill making it happen on the bases, too? And the nice base hit to get on the board here in this one, and the defense. What a versatile catcher he has been. Also
about that situation, Brown jumping back from one on the inside there. Speaking of jumping, he jumped all over one, hitting one out of the park to left center field. You know you would love to replicate that feat. Obviously, Herman matching him and then some with the blast that he had to right center early on in this game in the 7th inning. That was a big, big cut from Brown. I don't think he was against the idea of hitting one out here the way he's swinging.
And once again, these Cardinals hitters are going to have to try and mentally speed up here after a guy like Watt for 7 innings. We'll see if Brown can make the adjustment that McGill did.
Yeah, obviously Watt not afraid of contact, inviting plenty of soft versions of it, and Dean's definitely trying to go about things a very, very different way. And you see there, yeah, as your point, just a lot faster than what you were dealing with Watt earlier. Hamilton bullpen now, would imagine we'll see him, and that ball is hit hard, but it will not go the distance. There's the tagging McGill at third base, and he will come in to score as the Cardinals add to their lead. Jaden Brown unable to hit it out, but he does hit it deep enough for a sac fly. It is a 7-3 Cardinals lead now. The same thing there as they help him out, tacking another one across here in the bottom of 8th. That's a good piece of hitting by Jaden Brown, understanding what he needs to do situationally there.
Yeah, the Cardinals bottom of the order really all over this ball game, and that's how you're going to win games. 7 runs up on the board. Brown had the technically the single that made it 4-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Here Dominguez at the top of the order here as he turn things over. They've been unafraid to lean on the homer tonight. They've also used a lot of small ball. Tyler Duncan sack bunting a couple of times in this game. It has been, I don't know, a managerial mass into the top of the 9th. We got a 3-game weekend, including tomorrow against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. They're going to go down to Chatham-Kent for that one. And then, of course, Sunday, a little Father's Day action. Chatham-Kent back here, 4 o'clock first pitch. Cardinals will be in action. Hopefully, if this ball game continues, they'll be looking for at least their 2nd win of the weekend, if not a 3rd. And it is going to be Caleb Sorosky back into this one. You had Guerrero warming. I wonder if that was if the game stayed that way. Once you're able to tack on the other run with 3 games, or at least 2 more this weekend anyways, probably don't want to tax another pitcher if you don't have to. I like the call to stick with Sorosky.
I was thinking it was possible that he might come into this ballgame with the 4-run score, maybe not wide enough to test it, but if you're a Cardinals fan, hearing Guerrero, the left fielder, he's homered a couple times this year, thinking, why is he warming up on the mound? Well, if you missed it in the preseason, he can pitch on an emergency basis. He has let Luis Bernardo and the coaching staff know that he is available to do that. It's not, definitely not the position player pitching in the most traditional sense. So either way, he's into the game in left field right now to replace Feliz, and hopefully he's only got to be out there for a couple minutes here.
Yeah, and as good a way to warm up the arm as any, right? You may have to use it very well here. Quick little check on the out-of-town scoreboard as well. London home to Kitchener tonight. It is a beatdown for the Majors. It's 17-7. They're up on the. Have added a little bit, but still trail the Barrie Bay Cats at home. That is 9-6 in the top of 7. And of course, speaking of 7, the Cardinals have a 7-3 lead here on the Guelph Royals in the top of 9. Caleb Sorosky into this game, or continuing to be into this game, looking to put the finishing touches on it. There it is. He delivered. Tiger Cats up 41-13 on BC. That is into the 4th quarter. Tiger Cats at home tonight.
Some surprising things going on in London as Majors ace Victor Payano, tough lefty, he's been one of the best pitchers in this league for years. All uncharacteristic from him, but the Majors offense bailing him out. Wow, 17 runs. I do not know what has gotten into the CBL this week, Brent. Yesterday you had the Laurier Golden Hawks, Kitchener Panthers with a 23-14 victory over the Brantford Red Sox. Some high-scoring baseball here, and speaking of things not usually as they are in Brantford, Kent Barnstormers, he made a spot start for them, went 4 innings. And if the Red Sox can close that out, the Cardinals might be relieved to know that it is not just them who is struggling to beat the Red Sox this season.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, the London game can be as big a shock as you want. I don't think there's many more than Welland losing, let alone having it beat a Brantford who are alive. And this is Sorosky putting the finishing touches on this. This will be the 2nd inning you've seen out of him. Again, the most used reliever for the Cardinals, one of the most used relievers in the entire Canadian Baseball League. You don't want to have find yourself in a trouble spot. It's crazy how quick these games can speed up. So Sorosky would love nothing more than to get out of this. That ball is hit hard past the diving Tanner Rempel. Will they take the turn? The Guelph Royals will not, and they will stick with runners at first and second. It is a 7-3 game. All of a sudden, the tying run is...
Stephen Hospital gave up a single and a 2-run homer. Brantford made it 7-5. Of course, they got no closer. Hamilton closed that one out, but now it's Caleb Sorosky's turn to face some ninth-inning adversity. You thought you had a comfortable lead, but the Royals not making this easy.
Yeah, it certainly felt that way, and of course, the muscle memory of what you saw in your last game, you certainly don't want to see that here. Sorosky certainly wanting to work quickly out of this. You'd think it would go a long, long way of having an out here in this inning. You got none on, and you got a couple ducks on the pond for the Guelph Royals here. Sorosky certainly trying to avoid any damage here. He delivers. Look at the way the Cardinals have set things up here. This is as standard a defense as you get. Pretty much everybody standing exactly where you would draw them. Dominguez a little bit deep and right, of course, with the left-handed batter there, avoiding or guarding against any pull. And you see that ball going inside. McGill doing a good job to block it and avoiding it getting to the backstop. Hearing in for the sign that he'll get from McGill. Got runners on first, runner on second. It's a 7-3 lead for the Cardinals. There's the pitch from Sorosky, and it is a ball. Things kind of spiraling away from him here in a way that you probably wouldn't like if you're Caleb Sorosky. It is crazy how fast things can speed up in this game, Matt.
Yeah, baseball is not easy.
Here at least for Guelph, and they will. The runner goes into second base, and it'll be second and first. The run comes across for Guelph, and all of a sudden it is a 7-4 lead for the Cardinals. Still runners on first and second.
Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here, Brent. This looks to be Luca Boscarino.
It is the righty Sorosky that's in the game here. They got the righty-righty matchup despite coming in. You imagine they like what he's got in hand here. And here comes out Luis Bernardo. I don't know if it's for a conversation or if Hospital's ready to rock. He seems pretty much ready to go, though. We will see what happens here. Sorosky got to be frustrated. You would have loved to.
He's not quite himself. A lot of hard hit balls, hard contact here. Hospital still rearing back, ready to go there, throwing with a little more intensity now. Luis Bernardo had us fooled, I think, with a slow walk out to the mound, maybe just trying to buy Hospital a little bit more time. Sorosky is not going to let this waver him. He's got to remain confident here.
It's not come to hamper him too much. Obviously, Liam Watt working very, very deep into this game. Then Dean's coming in to provide some good relief for the Royals here. And all of a sudden, trying to have a rally late in this one. Caleb Sorosky would love nothing more than to slam the door shut. A ground ball would go a long way for that with runners on first.
Yeah, and the pinch hitter, Boscarino, is a catcher by trade, so should disaster strike here, he would catch in the bottom of the ninth, presumably for Ward, the man he replaced.
Would be an easy enough substitution there. Sorosky getting one on the outside. It's got to feel huge for him. All of a sudden, he's got 0-2, and you have a little room to play with, but given the situation, that would prove to be pretty costly. There is Sorosky, and he's able to get a swing and miss. That's got to feel great. Not just getting the pinch hitter to come in, but also getting the first out of the inning here, and all of a sudden finds himself a ground ball away from getting out of this game. It is Ashton Patterson coming in. This is the guy that's just found a way to get
side part of the plate, started off, and then on 0-2. Again, getting ahead in counts this inning wasn't the problem, but he spun him away with the slider to get him.
Speeding right past him to get strike one there. Sorosky doing a great job of mixing and matching. It's amazing how quickly confidence can turn in this game. Obviously, Hospital still warming. They love not to use them. Sorosky. That appeared to be an incredible play by Dominguez. Seems to be in some, I don't know, emotional or physical discomfort there. Got to be frustrated, not able to make the play. We're going to get a look at it here. Diving play, but unable to make the snag there. Every runner will advance, and all of a sudden you got runners on first.
Thought, and he darted in toward that ball. We've seen him make a couple beautiful diving catches in his tenure as a Hamilton Cardinal, but couldn't quite catch up to that ball. I'm sure he'd like a do-over again if he had the chance.
Yeah, we see Stephen Hospital there in the bullpen looking on. You imagine it could be his time here. Bases loaded, just one out in the top of 9. It is just a 3-run lead that the Cardinals have got themselves in. So all of a sudden, a game that seemed completely in hand, anything but here. Obviously, the concern right now from the Cardinals' perspective is the health of Dominguez. I've already had one health scare tonight with Rempel taking the ground ball that kind of got him off the clavicle area there. Does seem like Dominguez will stay in the game, though. I wouldn't say he's no worse.
Top of the order is back up. Ryan DeSantos represents the go-ahead run with the bases loaded here, and the Royals down by 3. Again, a ground ball would be fantastic here. And Sorosky, I think, knew it there. His time was up. It'll be Stephen Hospital to face the leadoff man, Ryan DeSantos.
Yeah, this is the man you trust when you've got a lead to lock down. You didn't want to have to use him tonight, but frustrating outing for Caleb Sorosky there, especially with that last hit that does end up coming. Dominguez, bad jump on the ball, and then it does feel like a case of exactly the type of contact that Sorosky would have liked there. But now they turn to Stephen Hospital, a game that seemed very much in hand. Now all of a sudden has the base.
Kind of been the two most trusted guys in the bullpen all year, so when you have a busy weekend like this, 3 games in 3 days, when he was calling on Sorosky, he was not planning to have to use Hospital today. That's kind of a situation where, hey, okay, Sorosky's in today, and I can save Hospital for tomorrow in Chatham. But the Guelph Royals had finally put a ball in play, a soft liner. Dominguez, not quite the jump he wanted, and it falls in. And this ball game has taken quite a turn. Brent Hospital just looking to slam the door anyway, anyhow.
Yeah, for Hospital, probably their most trusted leverage pitcher.
The nice thing about Hospital is we've seen him do both for a lot of stretches. He can be a weak contact guy. He can also be a swing and miss guy. I think that versatility and his ability to kind of adapt to any hitter he's facing is what makes him such an appealing option for Luis Bernardo and the coaching staff late in games. With DeSantos, you're really just trying to throw strikes because this is...
He would fall behind Ryan Dos Santos, and as you mentioned, playing right into his hands. That's exactly what he wants to do. It's a very patient Guelph Royals lineup. We'll see how patient they're able to be. His eyes have got to be looking like dinner plates with how excited he would be to hit in this situation. See a big, healthy cut from Dos Santos there. Haas coming up. You know, every guy would love to play the hero, but you have to take what's in front of you there, and if you're Hospital, maybe you want to play into that by giving him pitches that look just like that. Nice little cheese at the top of the zone.
Yeah, nice job by Hospital. Nothing too deliberate about this. He's given Dos Santos a steady diet of fastballs thus far, but now he's opened up count advantage. See what he goes with.
By Dos Santos as he stays alive, the count stays at 1-2.
We saw Dos Santos with a very lengthy at-bat against Logan Workington. A ton of 2-strike foul balls his last time up. Workington eventually finishing him off. See what Hospital, if he can match him here.
Yeah, it is a 1-2 count. We'll see what he's able to. Bases. That ball is hit. It's going to be hard. Will Duncan be able to get there? He will not. It's going to drop. At least one will score, and they're going station to station here. A run comes across, and it will be a 7-5 game all of a sudden here. This game is getting away from the Cardinals quickly here. Quite the rally by Guelph in the 9th.
You got to take that and just play it on a hop and ensure that only 1 run scores on that play. Nice job by Duncan there.
Well, and you know what happens if you make the diving play, and there's the ball up the middle. It scoots over the head of Drummond. One comes in to score. Here comes another, and all of a sudden it is a tie game here. The ball gets away from the third baseman and Rainy Reyes. Will a third Guelph Royals run come across to score? It does. What a turn of events here. A ball that hops over the head of Herman, the guy who hero of this ball game. Then the ball getting away from third baseman Rainy Reyes, and all of a sudden the bases are clear with the exception of a runner on third, and the Cardinals trail 8-7 here. This has been a disastrous 9th here at Bernie Arbor Memorial.
Now batting number 6.
Not at all. The wave runs coming across to score for the Guelph Royals in the top of 9. Now, obviously, they'll have their chance in the bottom, but it has been a big, big turn of events here. Every runner on third, 1 out, everybody in on the infield there, obviously playing to protect 1 more run from scoring because their job's going to be hard enough in the bottom.
Bounce eats up Herman, and you hate to see it, but that's just going to happen sometimes. That ball cannot get away from Rainy Reyes at third. Unacceptable to have that go-ahead run score on that play.
Really tough there. Nice little bounce back from Hospital as he gets the second out of the inning here. And they will be looking to get out of the jam here, though, and give themselves an easier task in the bottom of 9th. They're going to need the offense to come through one more time. Stephen Hospital on the mound here. 2 outs, runner on third. He's delivering the first pitch of the AB to Takamatsu, and it is low to the outside. For the Cardinals here, and they hope it's just 1 that they've got to score to tie it, 2 to win. You would certainly not want to be in a position where you have to find a way to get a couple. The Cardinals have put up runs tonight, but far from crooked numbers. They've just managed to score more than 1 run in an inning twice, and that came off the homer from Darlin Herman in the
bullpen. Nearly let last Friday get away from them. They let Saturday get away from them, and now it's happened again here tonight.
Yeah, certainly has. People will tell you there's no such thing as momentum in a baseball season beyond the next game starting pitcher. Hard when the game wasn't the night before, but it does feel like we'll be a bottom of the ninth, and if Hospital can shut the door here, they'll just need one run to tie it and send it to extras, 2 to win the game. But Hospital's got his hands full here. Ball squirting just away from McGill, but not enough for the runner to think about scoring from third there. It is Takamatsu up at the plate here, one of Guelph's more. It is Stephen Hospital. He's looking to get out of the jam. Once again, missing the zone here, and the count goes to 2-2. Fans that are still here are trying to get out of the jam. The tall righty delivers. That hit Takamatsu, but it looked to be a swing there. Fouled it back. It doesn't appear to be in too much discomfort, but that one was certainly high and tight inside. But Takamatsu swinging on that, fouling it back.
And if you're the Cardinals, find your best foot forward, bottom 9.
Yeah, and they hope it's just the one run, but not able to be in that position yet as Takamatsu works the walk, and all of a sudden there are runners on the corner as Stephen Hospital has run himself into a bit of trouble here after Caleb Sorosky did the same in the top of 9 here. This was a game that they'll be in need of some late inning heroics. They need some here from Stephen Holiday, though. He'll take the out in any form it comes. With already 2 outs in the inning, he'd take a strikeout, he'd take a ground ball, whatever you want to do to get him out of this inning. He would love to see it happen. Here's the pitch from Hospital. Appeared to be high, and it is. It's ball 1. You would love to, careful what you wish for, right? They got 1 in the bottom of 9, and all of a sudden you're headed to 10. Maybe you need them there. Obviously, in a perfect world, you're able to get a couple and just need a couple to win this game. There's Hospital getting a swinging strike here. This is a busy weekend. There's no day where it's good to burn through the couple of Roski and Holiday. There is the pitch. It's fouled back, and Hospital is 1 strike away from getting out of this jam.
How about the Cardiac Royals? Their last game, they trailed 6-0 against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, came back to walk it off 10-9 on a walk-off base hit from J.D. Williams. There have been a lot of comeback wins as part of their 4-game winning streak, and in general, their recovery from...
We're in the top of 9, runners on first and third. After a 5-run top of 9, the Guelph Royals lead the Hamilton Cardinals 8-7. Here comes a pitch from Hospital. That one is fouled back. Just a good job of staying alive. There's been a lot of this frame from the Guelph Royals hitters. Feels like they...
Yeah, Miguel Giraldo doing what pretty much everyone has been doing this 9th inning, and even the entire game, pretty much ever since that. Those first 2 innings, Hector Yan dusted through pretty quickly, but even when they weren't on the scoreboard, they were putting together tough at-bats. This has kind of been their mantra throughout their winning ways recently, and most of all here tonight.
And there's the third. It is a full count. Stephen Hospital, the man they often tab with closing games, on the bump for the Cardinals here. He delivers the full count pitch. That ball is hit hard to left field. Guerrero's got a beat on it, but is unable to make the play. 1 run comes across to score. They're going to wave another. Takamatsu rounding up a 9 here, and all of a sudden the Cardinals find themselves trailing 10-7. What a complete reversal of fortune. The Cardinals have done their damage in drips and drabs, yes, with a couple of blasts, but pretty consistently throughout the game. Outside of 2 innings, Guelph has been with the bases clearing double.
Well, there's no more lead to protect. There's no more tie game to try and sustain going to the bottom of the 9th. And I know Sorosky started it. Hospital, though, here has also kind of made his bed, and Luis Bernardo is telling him, hey, you don't really have a choice now but to sleep in it. You may as well. He's been out here this long to the point where he probably would have been unavailable tomorrow anyway.
Yep, might as well use him. You see it here. Wholly disagree with him.
Mm-hmm.
I also think if you're the Guelph Royals, maybe you feel like you're owed a chirp or two the ump's way, given the way things have gone with the Cardinals dugout tonight. Seeing as how it happens. Here is Hospital trying to get himself out of this. And that'll be Baljic in the game. I guess at this point it's a great sign if he gets in, because it means the Cardinals have charged back and we got more baseball after 9 here. But they are in a tough spot. Hospital just looking to get out of this, having trouble finding the zone here. Obviously, you want to, if you've already used them, you've already burned them, you'd want to get out of this frame with them. But, I mean, you still have a 3-run depth. 1 more run will come in to score, and it's into second base with a stand-up double, and the Guelph Royals continue to add. It is now 8 runs in the top of 9. It is now 11-7 for the Guelph Royals here. It's amazing how fast things can spiral in a baseball game, and you do see Bernardo coming out now. I think that'll... And there it is. Stephen Hospital's night is done. Certainly a disappointing one for him. Cardinals appeared to be cooking the way this game was going, and then the top of ninth got them. It's happened to plenty of baseball teams, but not happy with the way it's gone for them tonight, I'm sure, are the Cardinals. Plenty else going on in the Canadian baseball majors, beating up on the Panthers at home. A few other games still on the go. Barry's got a 9-5 lead on the Toronto Maple Leafs. That one at Dominico Park at Christie Pitts. That is in the top of 8th. It's 9-5 there. Well, the Brantford Red Sox looking to put the finishing touches on a Welland team. Now, I will say they're only up 6-2, and we saw the way this game went in the top of 9th, so careful counting your chickens before they hatch there. It is Gadget coming into the game here. What can you tell us about him, Matt?
Not Jacob Gadget, the hard-throwing lefty. Once upon a time in 2024, he was briefly in the de facto closer's role for this team. Gadget hasn't pitched in a while. It's been 12 days since last Sunday against Welland. He throws hard. He's got stuff that moves, and he's just kind of that prototypical, high-octane velocity closer type. But in 22 batters faced this inning, he has still not struck out anybody, so he's still looking for the first punch out of the season. Gadget, the Hamilton, Ontario native, he's only 26 years old, but he is one of the longest tenured 2020 season. This is season number 5 now for him in the CBL, and I can't imagine he's ever come into a game like this. Well, after what's happened in the 9th inning so far.
No time like the present for the first strikeout of the season. It is a lefty. It is Nadal stepping to the mound. Just one other game, one of us there. So we got at least one winner in Hamilton tonight, and it's the Tiger Cats, of course. The Cardinals are going to have their chance, but boy, oh boy, are they going to have their work cut out for them. Got to get out of this inning before they're able to do that. Gadget looking for a first pitch strike, unable to find it. That one goes inside. It'll be interesting to see how they're able to behind the plate there, looking like he played a little road hockey goalie in his day with the glove save there. But you do imagine what this does to the team. Starting off a busy weekend, you got a home and home against Chatham. I mean, it's nice you won't have to see Guelph again after this one, but far from the emotional note you wanted to start the weekend on. Cardinals delivering. Nadal digging in. He's got the blue Royals tarp on, little blue leg guard there as well for him. Is a little waggle of the bat, and there's the pitch from Gadget. Able to clip the outside there, and the 3-1 pitch. Finally, we get our first strike from Gadget here. This game has got a Gadget. Quick check on second, and he'll get that past Nadal. And once again, I find myself saying he is one strike away from getting out of the frame here. We'll go a long way. There's Bernardo. You see him there, hoping this is the man. Finally, I found the right guy to get us out of this inning. And then you hope for a little magic from your offense as well. No, he does not, because it's into the stands. You asked me to make the play, Matt. There I did. Someone find me a kid. Where is he? There you are, bud. Look at, oh, geez, just beamed a kid in the head. Didn't mean to. He got the ball. We're all good. You asked, I delivered. I'm making plays out here. I'm happy we existence, buddy. What other powers do you have?
Brent, I've been waiting for that to happen for 2 years, and it's finally happened. A ball in the booth.
I feel a little bad because that was really right in your lap. That was a mine
You were
situation.
standing. You were definitely more ready positioned to catch that baseball. That was all you. No problem with you cutting me off there.
Play. I'm happy I can make a child's night. Let's see if the Hamilton Cardinals can do the same. It's 11-7 here. Gadget on the mound trying to get out of this one. Nadal hits this hard bat flip. It better be gone the way he reacted, and it is an exclamation point on what has been a mass charge into that one. I don't know if that's as big as the one we saw from her mom, but the reaction was just the same. That was a blast by Nadal.
This is one of those things that puts you at a loss for words. One of the more epic bullpen collapses I think I've ever seen, plain and simple. Soroski didn't have it. Wow, just crazy. All three of them, they didn't have it at the same time, and these guys just didn't do their jobs tonight, plain and simple. The offense opened up a 4-run lead, hung 7 on the board. Herman's big homer, and then the sac fly by Brown should have been more than enough insurance. And, bullpen, again, it's volatile relief pitching, the whole thing.
Certainly, this is a pinch hitter we're seeing for the second time. This guy was brought in for Ward, the catcher, in the 8th spot in this lineup, looking to just give him a little punch. Was retired the first time. We'll see if he's the magic touch the second time here. Gadget looking to get out of this inning here. As I'm going to stop saying it because it's not worked out yet, but you know what he could do if he's able to get a strike here in this inning. Gadget looking for it. He's looking for his first strikeout of the year. Pinch hitter through the second second time for the Royals here, and there it is, and mercifully the inning is over. Gadget getting his first strike. The amount of runs, not a good sign here. This Cardinals offense has proved dangerous. They put up a big number this year, put up a 23 spot in one game. They don't need 23, but they're going to need way closer to it than they would have liked, given the way this thing is going here. Going to be some big time for some offensive heroics. And
they were down 6-3 in the bottom of the 7th against Kitchener 2 games ago. Hung a 4 spot on that one, won 7-6. The game before that was Liam Watt's 6 shutout inning effort. They won 10-0 in Toronto. That wasn't much of a ball game, to be completely honest. They had the walk-off sac fly against the Cardinals going back a couple weeks in a game that they once trailed 4-0. And again, the Cardiac Royals, they've done it again. And it's a certain kind of skill that it takes to go out and just put your head down and just not even think about anything when your backs are up against the wall, to just have that pass the baton mentality and make a game of it. And these Royals have done it time and again, and people might have been writing them off after, you know, all their top international talent left after last season. They thought, hey, maybe that semifinal loss to Welland.
For them, as you talked about, Kevin Escoria is the guy we'll see here, number 13, the lefty, coming in to deal with the Cardinals, and it will be the top of the order here. If you could draw it up, this is the way it'll go. I got good news for Tyler Duncan. I don't think he's laying down a sack bunt when he comes up in the second as the second batter.
Using ERA to judge relievers, and Kevin Escorcia is exactly why. You will look at his season line and see a 6.52 ERA. That is not very good, but you have to account for this on a game-by-game basis. He gave up 5 of the 7 earned runs he's given up on the season in one game, his very first CBL game at the Welland Jackfish on May 16th. Since then, he has given up just 2 runs, and both those came in one outing too, in 8 2/3 innings. This is a good pitcher. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the Cardinals were going to be in tough if this was a 1-run game, even a tie game. But now it's a 6-run game. Escorcia did it against them a couple weeks ago. A scoreless relief inning, struck out 2, worked around to hit in the 9th inning of that game.
Inning on defense, that one buzzes you in a no fun spot. Looks like a little Charlie Horse Central. Bit of a stare down happening with Escorcia. I assume cooler heads will prevail, but maybe I shouldn't. Dominguez looks pretty hot about this. There's a lot of gesticulating, seems to be a little yelling with the Royals dugout in the top of 9, and he is going to limber his way down to first base here, and Tyler Duncan will come up. Caleb Sorosky making his way out to the plate just to play. I don't know. He's got a little too wry of a smile on my face for playing peacemaker. He's playing something down there, though. We'll see what Tyler Duncan is able to do on the lefty-lefty matchup here. Not the way they wanted to do it, but you're going to need base runners. You're not winning this with just homers when you're down 6 in the bottom of 9. And it'll now be the number 2 hitter, Tyler Duncan, coming up to the plate. Not wasting any time as Escorcia. A quick pitch there, and it is a fastball on the inside that just Duncan not able to get any wood on there, and it's a first pitch strike.
There's just something about delivery. He winds very far back with that throwing hand and then comes across kind of 3/4 arm slot that can't be easy to pick up on for any hitter, especially for the lefty Duncan.
Yeah, from up here, I'm not in the box and it looks no fun. I'm kind of positioned right behind where Tyler Duncan would be, and yes, the way that arm kind of whips across the body, if he's able to find the zone with it, I mean, here from Escorcia. You see it there, Duncan, healthy cut at that one, just missing. And this is a guy that has not been asked to swing the bat the last 2 times he was up, certainly getting his money's worth with that cut.
Well, why not? Bottom of the 9th, you're down by 6 after that inning. You may as well.
Absolutely. Up the 3-hitter, Darlin Herman. Sounds like 1,000 years ago. I'm sure it feels like it now, but last time Herman was up to the plate, put a charge into one. A thunderstruck to right center field there, and biggest blast we've seen tonight. Nadal hitting one out to a similar find themselves trailing in the bottom of 9 here.
Yeah, Herman definitely wasn't hoping that he'd have to hit again in this ball game, and I'm sure he'll be thinking later on tonight about the ball that ate him up that ended up giving the Royals the 8-7 lead on that Anthony Gilbert ground ball single that tied it, and then the go-ahead run scored on the misplay at third base. The ball
make a clean play on, but we'll see if he's able to make amends at the dish here. How about that? You want to hit one out to right? How about a pull to left? That one hit the pole, not the foul pole, the light pole. That's a bomb by Herman. Still plenty of work to do for the Cardinals, but you'll take it if you're him for the deep. Cardinals finding a little bit of life here in the bottom of 9. All of a sudden, it's 13-9. Just one out here. Still plenty of life left in the Cardinals here at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. There comes Herman across to score, and he left no doubt about that one, watching it all the way. An absolute
personally on that baseball for the Bernie bounce that ate him up in the top of the 9th. Man, this guy can hit.
Yeah, certainly can. If you take anything out of this game, you've got a guy feeling very good about himself heading into a weekend with 2 more games. We've got some locked-in fans tonight. I see a guy standing right beneath me. He's got a shoe on his head. I've heard Herman Homer. That's all you, buddy. That is all you. Nickel up to the plate, the shortstop now. We'll see if he's able to work something here. This is another hitter, more scrappy than powerful, but nobody feels powerful other than Herman, the way he's stroking it right now. We'll see if Nickel's able to keep the party going here. Escoria, the lefty, had a little success with the lefties, now facing a righty after Herman also taking him deep, the righty, just before this. That one's low, and it'll be a 2-2 count for Nickel. Got to find a way to continue to stack base runners up. Nothing Nickel does here is going to win them the game. Just have to find a way to keep comeback. Cardinals down to their last out as Rainy Reyes comes up to bat. And if you missed it earlier tonight, there was a winner in Hamilton. It was the Hamilton Tiger Cats, moving to 2-1 on this season, picking up a 41-27 win in this spot here. This is a guy in Escoria that you imagine will be trying to pound the zone a little bit because he has the wiggle room to give up plenty of contact. Lefty looking to do so, but misses the zone for a second straight time. And all of a sudden, Rainy Reyes finds himself in a pretty good 2-0 hitters count. Going to go back all the way to the backstop, hop up and hit the net meshing in front of the fans there, and it is a 3-0 count. You imagine this is going to be a take all the way situation with Reyes, you'd have to think, eh, Matt?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've ever seen a more obvious red light here, and that's no disrespect to Rainey. We know he's got pop.
Final in the CBL tonight, Welland falling 6-2 to Brantford. That one in Brantford, while the London Majors beating up on the Kitchener Panthers at home. 19-7 is the total there. Guelph and Hamilton still in action, obviously, here, while Barrie is up 9-5 on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Escoria looking in, and that will finish the ball game here. Guelph with an all-time comeback in the 9th inning, 9 runs to take a 13-9 win over the Cardinals. Not the way they wanted to start a busy weekend, and losing in front of the Dogs, you can't like that. The good news is they'll have a chance for 2 more wins here on Sunday afternoon for Father's Day against Chatham-Kent. Before that, they're off on the road to Chatham-Kent tomorrow. Matt, always love having you with me for these games. Not the result we wanted, but it was an entertaining night of baseball. Darlin Herman, the offensive star for the going deep, but it was far from enough as the Guelph Royals pick up a 13-9 win. For Matt Creeley, I'm Brent Gunning. Thanks so much to everyone in the truck and on the cameras for our Cable 14 crew. It's been another edition of Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14.
Watch a new episode of The Dylan Show this Monday at 6 p.m. while I chat with Belleville Senators GM Matt Turek and singer-songwriter and Cable14.com.
On this episode of Mavericks, we meet a Hamilton physician whose work centers on the most anguishing edge of medicine, a world most of us can barely imagine.
Wading through the waters, trucking down this road, we're explorers. I'm trying to stay focused, I keep looking at my watch. Time is always ticking, never know how much you got. The polar caps are melting, hungry men are on their knees. You get put down for too long, you get tired of saying. Buying what they're selling, I'm through with all of that. Star Explorer. Down the waves, hoping for a sympathetic breeze and a sunny day. Let's pack our bags up, baby, go circumnavigate. We're explorers.
We demystify a range hood fan installation, from working in the kitchen and preparing the fan, working in the attic, ducting it, and right to your rooftop to vent it. Remember, always get up, get off the couch, and tackle your to-do list.
No amount of studying can guarantee a gambling win. Find tips for safer play at gamblingisrandom.ca.
Fighting games. Down forward punch, back down kick, forward up punch, forward up punch, forward up punch. Tournament fighting games are all the craze in the competitive gaming world and really made its arc during the 1990s. So here's the top 10 fighting games for the PS1, N64, and Sega Dreamcast. Number 10, JoJo's, using much of its anime's iconic style and pizzazz. Number 9, Techromancer. No, that's not me slurring my words. Techromancer is a giant mecha fighting game reminiscent of Gundam fighting games, where you fight on giant planes and cityscapes, bashing big robots against each other in 3D. It's overly stylish and makes you wish there was a fighter game franchise pitting powerful warriors against each other in one of the most classic 3D fighting games around. While the tournament fighting scene is usually commanded by a select few titles, Dead or Alive sets itself apart from its others with excellent graphics and, I'll just admit it, it's a cast of beautiful women that you can play. There, I find locations utilizing the destructible environment to your advantage, and is one of those games that's always a smash hit to bring the parties. Number 6, Guilty Gear X. I love the Guilty Gear franchise. Something about the gritty, dark vibes Guilty Gear brings with its twisted and diabolical cast of characters, hard rock and gods of death joining the fray. You'll love Guilty Gear X. Number 5, Soul Calibur. Probably one of the poster childs of the Dreamcast and 3D tournament fighters all around, Soul Calibur is a staple of the fighting genre. Utilizing the 3D space exceptionally well with hazardous edges that you can fall off, Soul Calibur still holds up to this day. Bros is a game that you can bring to any party and everyone will be happy. Number 3, Tekken 3. Like Soul Calibur and Dead or Alive, Tekken is probably the most iconic of the 3D tournament fighting games, with its peak being Tekken 3 on the PS1. One of the nicest looking games on the 5th gen console, using some of the cleanest fighting controls. Tech Duty fighting games, Street Fighter takes the cake, with Street Fighter 3 Third Strike being the pinnacle of 2D fighters on these consoles, and arguably the second best 2D fighting game ever. Featuring a vast array of playable characters from the Street Fighter roster, some of the most complex and varied movesets and play styles. It's no wonder it's one of the most popular, competitive, craziest events in video gaming history. Number 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. probably the best 2D fighting game ever, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is gonna take you for a ride. Na-na-na-na-na, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, gonna take you for a ride. But anyway, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is not only a free character roster that you can use and swap out if you ever need, adding an extra and needed level of strategy to a gaming genre that needs it. And that's all we got for this list.
New go-to show for Ticats, Forge, NFL, NBA, NHL, and all your fantasy sports action. We've got the plays, the stats, the hot takes, everything you need to stay on top of the game. Don't miss out. Steel City Sportscast, where the game never stops.
That makes you feel hopeless. Know this, we're here to help if you want us to. It's never too early or too late to ask for help with a drinking problem. Alcoholics Anonymous, there is a way out. For more information, visit aa.org and download the meeting guide app.
Today on Hamilton Life, event chair and leader of the Bright Run, Nancy McMillan, and Ninja Warrior champion Drew Morelli.
Singer-songwriter Susie McNeil
Learns how to build a charcuterie to go.
All that and more coming up on this edition of Hamilton Life.
For the summer break, and it's been a heck of a season. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Mike Fortune, Linda Rourke. Linda, great having you in studio again. And
These are the tears.
We got a big show. You're starting to cry on me here. Here, you want to take my hanky? Here you go. Here you go.
It's nice, actually.
You like that, eh? Multicolor.
It might be a little bright for my outfit, but
no, I think we match. No.
Well,
okay. Either way, listen, I got some questions for you.
Yes.
I got some questions for you because this is our last show. Way to spend a summer Saturday.
The most Hamilton way?
What's the most Hamilton way?
My way or just generally
What's your way? What's Linda's way?
A patio.
A patio with a local craft beer.
Probably with a local craft beer, like Collective Arts or Merritt Brewing. Well, do they have a patio? I don't know if I've been to Merritt during the summer
Is that the one on Main Street?
On James.
Oh, on James. Yeah, I don't know if they do either.
That's a good question.
Okay.
Anyway.
Beach day at Van Wyn.
Don't tell me.
The grease hasn't been clean since the 70s.
But I really do enjoy their fish and chips. I don't eat it very often, but they do have a good one.
So best ice cream spot then in the city?
Oh, anything with Hewitt's dairy ice cream.
Can't go wrong, eh?
It's so good. Their coconut ice cream.
I'm a very boring person. Very boring. Okay, barbecue, barbecue charcoal versus propane. How would you rather have your burgers or hot dogs?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because propane's so easy,
Simple,
but there's
light it,
something
off you go.
about charcoal barbecuing that's pretty cool.
So you're going with charcoal? Well, that's what you just said, right? Hamburger over a hot dog?
Oh, hamburger any day. Homemade though, it has to be made. I don't know what's in a hot dog, so I can know what's going in my burger. You?
You never want to go and see how hot dogs are made.
No, I do not. That's
a
why
hamburger
I don't eat
or
them.
smash burger even? You like your smash burgers
I just
now.
perfected smash burgers.
You
I'm
told
so
me this.
excited. My family riding, right? There's so many trails to ride your bikes on too.
Yeah.
Rail trail's great.
I'm not the most active person anymore. So, you know what I like?
Simple, not very active.
Here's Thursday nights. Yeah, simple, boring.
All right, Thursday night what?
Go down to Pier 8 Williams, and they have Thursday night summer concerts.
Yes.
Beautiful. Think about it over the summer.
Exactly. I'm sure people are like hot dog hamburger. That's going to be the question of the day. All right, after the break, I will be chatting with Tim Podesick about the Because Beer Craft Beer Festival. I cannot wait. So stick around.
Introducing the all-new Cable14.com. Watch what you want, when you want. Watch all of Cable 14's content live or use the website's TV guide to search for your favorite program. Discover what local events are happening in
it for mental stability. And sometimes if you don't have that access to food, you just can go mentally in a downward spiral. Sometimes it's hard living paycheck to paycheck. If it wasn't for a food pantry, some days I would probably not be eating at all.
So good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
It's been a while. It's
Yeah.
wonderful doing so much great things in this city. Like you really do. You're a Hamilton lover. I love everything that you've supported, everything you've grown, started as a little seed and now, all these great events that are happening. And because beer is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. Great lineup this year. We'll touch on that. Amazing series of craft brewers that are going to be participating as well. So yeah, it's going to be a great one.
Huge number. I was reading the list and a lot of them I know because I'm a huge craft beer lover. I'm so glad the craft beer industry was created and that it's happening. To me, it's like someone who's not a big wine drinker.
Right.
It's kind of like that because you taste it, you get
robust and just hundreds of beers to try. You can't try them all. You could try, but you can't try them all.
You need a weekend pass for that one if you're going to try all of them, right?
Absolutely. I'll if you want to go for it, I'll support it. Yeah, it's super fun. It's like a really chill, beautiful park. Pier 4 is the best. It's like you can just hang out by the water, sit up on the berm, be under the tents. We've got the big stage again with all the talent on it and everything, which you can see from pretty much everywhere in
the waterfront area. You're going to hear it because it's all a buzz. You'll get a little bit of the sound of everything that's happening and a really good lineup. Like I'm super excited because I love Wayne Gretzky Band and they're going to be there on the Friday night.
Yeah, so I've kind of tried to change it up a little bit. It's just themed it a bit. So the ticket sales are great for the Friday night and the Saturday night already.
Yes.
So, we're really excited, expecting great weather and all the things that come along with it.
Yeah,
so.
And Saturday night, Big Wreck.
Big Wreck, yeah, Flatliners, and Death from Above. Like a couple of my, we work with Big Wreck, so of course, one of my favorite bands on the label side, but DFA, long time friends and known them forever and
super fun.
Distributed their first EP back in the late 90s, I think. So
that's incredible.
Yeah,
that mean it this year and it's in the calendar and I can't wait. So as I said, it's such a great opportunity to just get out and have a great weekend. The weekend pass is a great idea.
Yeah.
If you want to go for the whole event, but you just can't miss getting out in the city in the summer because we do have such a great city for that.
Some special beers that will be brought for Because Beer. Generally, the local brewers like to do that. They'll bring a special keg.
Yeah.
So look out for that. Come early, stay long. The way I like to say it. Stay for the whole event and
food trucks as well.
Tons of food trucks, lots of good food, and just lots of amazingly a lot of things to do in a small park that will keep you busy and tons of great
off the summer and then eventually taking us all the way into September when of course Supercrawl will happen and you're busy putting all that together as well.
Yeah, it's together. We're announcing on in a couple weeks.
Amazing.
So excited for that. I wish I could be here to announce.
Take a look, find out what's happening. It's a really incredible weekend event that happens in the city as well in the fall.
Yeah, it is rammed packed with content.
Yeah.
So I say probably a little bit more than last year. So, the two big main flanking stages of local street, and they're going to perform this year. So I'm saying one thing.
There you go.
I'm not saying their name,
all
but
right, letting a little bit out. They're not from Montreal area, are they?
So it's going to be, and some circus performances, all the art installations like the thing going on, 40 plus food trucks, hundreds of craft vendors. Again, you actually can't see everything and do everything at Supercrawl. Even if you came for the whole weekend, you'd miss things. So
yeah, it's really remarkable what you've done for the city, and I'm going to say that, Tim, because you really have been.
Thank you. We try hard. I've got an incredible team. There's so many people that are doing all the hard work. I'm just luckily I'm the face. I am lucky I get to come and speak with you.
That's great. Well, we're lucky too to be able to chat with you. So Because Beer dates?
July 10th and 11th.
So get your tickets if you haven't already. You can do a weekend pass if you can manage it.
Looking ahead to some of the events happening this summer. Just a reminder, we've got the Brock Music ticket giveaway. If you go to the Vibe Hamilton on Instagram or Facebook, find the post, follow us and comment music, then you'll enter into the draw to win 2 tickets. And with goats or watching some hoops or salsaing away the summer, plenty to do across the city. And if you want to find events all week, 200 events and music gigs every week at thevibehamilton.com. And back to you, Mike.
Hey, Paul, thanks a lot for all that great information about what's coming up this summer. Look forward to seeing you around our great city, and go support some local stuff. The Vibe, go check it out. My next guest is a provincial and national Ninja Warrior champion within youth division. He represented Hamilton at the Canadian National Ninja Warrior, finishing fourth. Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Morelli. Drew, nice to see you today, man. That's quite a list of introductions. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been quite the journey.
And you're just getting started, man.
Yep.
You're just getting started. So, was it a typical moment sitting around the house with mom and dad and brother, flipping around the TV, and you saw the show come on?
Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed watching it a lot when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I can do that, right?
Yeah.
Is that basically what you said to mom and dad?
Yeah.
Mom, am I kind of getting the story right?
True. He
trainer.
Okay, great. And Matt's a local guy here in Hamilton?
Yep.
And whereabouts in Hamilton do you train out of?
I train right around Stony Creek.
Right around the Stony Creek area.
Yeah.
There's a big complex there, I guess, right?
Zacata Ninja Warrior.
I'm introducing her as mom, but it's Amanda. This is Drew's mom, by the way. Sorry, Mom.
It's okay.
But again, big facility. They're doing things right, obviously.
They are. They have a circus side as well. So in their training, they have gymnastics incorporated into it as well.
Yeah, very cool. Take us through these competitions, Drew. The mind
focused me in my head doing those obstacles. Then around 10-15 minutes before my run, I start to warm up, get my body ready. And then right before my run, I get really focused. Then I run, and then I hopefully do really good.
Toughest obstacle?
Toughest obstacle that I've ever done has to be either between a vertical limit, which is a very small little ledge that I have to hang on about like that big.
Yeah.
Or probably a big fly bar move, which is literally a bar.
Yeah.
And then you have it on something about that long, just a little.
This coming for you, like when you do this is your escape, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess I really just love competing. It's probably my most favorite part about it is just competing, being there at the actual competitions, and really just brings a lot of joy to me.
And as much as and it's great that you have, that's probably one of the biggest plaques I've seen won. You got the trophies, you got the t-shirt, and yes, the events are important at what you're learning, but it's also all the stuff that happens behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Spending time with mom and dad, other competitors. Talk about some of the friendships you've made through this.
So a lot of people think in sports, like maybe you might not be the best friends with the competitors, but in Ninja, since it's not really on Milton, Hamilton, everywhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, and to you, Amanda, you know, it must be wonderful as a parent to see, well, you have a younger son too who's also involved in this, but to have two kids who are invested, who found something at an early age that they're enjoying doing. You have to drag them every time.
Yeah, I think the key to this was I provided all the sports, all the arts, all the music when they were younger, and I watched until I could find a passion. And once Drew showed that passion last year, I said, all right, I'll give you all I got.
Yep.
And it's been a wonderful journey.
Yeah, and it's only just begun. And enjoy it, because when it ends, when they start to age out and then they move on, or maybe they don't want to do it anymore, then you'll be like, man, where did all that time go? What's training like for you right now in the summer? When's your next big event?
So my next big event, I actually leave Thursday for the World Championships.
Okay.
And training right now is getting a bit lighter, just preparing the body for it. And I've got a couple of rips recently, which are skin peeling off.
You got to look after those, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
got to look after them.
A lot of polysporin and Band-Aids.
Yeah. And then just really keeping the body in shape right before Worlds and just getting the body ready. And then after summer, there's a couple different leagues that run through the summer. I get ready for those.
Yeah.
But I just try to...
Is the club looking for something? Is Drew looking for sponsors? How can we help out a young kid like this to further his dream?
It's an individualized sport at the end of the day. He does represent his team and his club, but Drew is on his own to get to the competitions, to pay for the competitions, and they can be quite costly, especially when we have two. We're traveling to the States twice a month with the exchange rate and hotels. It adds up so fast. So Drew is definitely on the hunt for some sponsors that see something and believe in him.
Ike is probably...
Because you're too good.
Yeah,
you're too good, right? Yeah.
So
follow you on Instagram to see what's going on and what's happening. What would you say to kids who maybe want to get into this sport?
I would say you just have to believe yourself, be ready for the changes that have to happen. When I started, my hands were perfectly fine. Now they're not so great anymore. They're a bit roughed up. You have to be ready for that, and you have to be just ready to have the mentality of training, and then competing.
A lot of discipline. Drew, wishing you all the best. Also wishing your brother all the best too. Congratulations. Give us an update when you get back, when we're here in the fall. Want to know how you did, and all the best to becoming a national champ, all right?
Thank you.
Mom, thank you. I know all the hard work that goes on behind the scenes. All the best to you.
Thank you, sir.
All righty. After the break, Nancy Bell will be here talking about the Bright Run for breast cancer. Stick around. Thank you.
Get ready to blast to the past with Retro Game Time. Watch as gamers from around Hamilton battle it out in the ultimate retro gaming showdown. Who will outplay, outlast, and be crowned the ultimate Retro Game Time champion? Plus, don't miss our thrilling top 10 in each episode where we rank the unforgettable highlights and hidden gems of the gaming world. Tune in, level up, and catch Retro Game Time on Cable 14.
Is an annual community fundraising event that raises money for breast cancer research at both the Juravinski Cancer Center and McMaster University. Joining me now are Nancy McMillan and Dr. Donovan. So great to have you both here.
Thank you. Thank you.
This has been an incredible journey in our community, having the Bright Run. And Nancy, we go way back. Like, I've been out at the Bright Runs with cameras, you know, showing the incredible fun that families have out there. So for those who'd be like, the Bright Run, might be a few people that still don't know. What is it all about? I know.
To support local researchers to advance breast cancer research that impacts internationally. So it's somewhat like the little engine that could, and boy, are we doing it. So this year, we are hoping to raise another $500,000.
Amazing.
And it's electric, it's energetic, it's enthusiasm. It's just all things positive, and people leave with goosebumps, and it fills the fuel tank to get them through the following year.
Yeah.
And for a lot of folks who walk into the Juravinski Cancer Center, it gives them something to really look forward to.
Sheen over the years, of course, with all the wonderful volunteers and everyone that supports in our community. And then, as you said, you know, people will come into the treatment centers to get the help that they need, supported by an also incredible group of amazing people that we have here in our community. And as you said, the money stays here in Hamilton. So Dr. Donovan, I'm going to come over to you because Nancy Cancer and just cancer in general. So what are some of the things that you've been working on?
So I am very fortunate to have two projects that have been funded by the Bright Run and the Bright Foundation. Both of these are focused on improving radiation treatments for patients with breast cancer and hopefully reducing toxicity and improving quality of life. One of these projects is looking at, we think will do a number of things. Of course, there's reducing trips to the cancer center, improving convenience for patients, which is really helpful when patients are trying to work or support a family. There's also the potential to reduce acute or short-term toxicities and late toxicities, improve cosmetic outcomes, and hopefully quality of life available for patients in this situation. And we want to see if we can prolong the life on those drug treatments by adding radiation in for patients that have progression in a few focused areas. So by giving local ablation or radiation to those areas, we can potentially keep patients on these drug treatments longer. These drug treatments are really tolerable, so patients may have improved. Sometimes it's really hard to get research projects started because in order to start a really big practice-changing trial, you need to be able to get a huge amount of funding, let's say a federal grant, and often this is just not possible without having a foundation grant to get pilot data that you can then take for a larger grant application. And there's important, and the work that's done fundraising goes a really long way. It really makes a big difference.
Yeah, and how it's all interconnected and so important to our community to get these funds so that you can do this research and we can advance things, you know. And looking back to Nancy, like, you know, you were diagnosed with breast cancer about, was it 18?
18 years ago.
You said you did like 30 treatments?
Yes.
which would now be how much? How many treatments, Dr. Donovan?
So many patients are eligible for just 5 treatments, actually. They're, everybody's a little bit different, so there are some circumstances where people may need more, but we've really developed the ability to really tailor and personalize breast cancer treatment for patients now based on a number of different factors.
Like people are functioning, still going to work, doing all these things while they're going through these treatments, which is really remarkable, but it's also because of how far it's come in the sense of making it more comfortable for people who have to deal with cancer. And I think everyone knows someone. I have 4 people now in my life that have had breast cancer but are doing in our community, and I think that that's what's so important, right, is that we all come together. We support something like the Bright Run that supports research, and then you do your incredible work and you make these, amazing discoveries and things that can change people's lives and make that journey just a little bit better, because we still, to this day, are scared when we hear cancer come out of the time too, Dr. Donovan, to talk about this. I think it's really important.
Perfect little picnic box, right?
Yes. So today I thought we would do the picnic box, the wine pairing, because I think of our region, I think of summer. So this is a really fun one. You can grab, it's all wrapped up. You've got from your meats to your cheeses to fresh fruits, vegetables with a little bit of sweet and salty. So from hard to soft, you have an array of all the different types of cheeses, from your Gouda to your goat cheese to your brie, Parmesan, and then you have all the meats to pair with it. You got your prosciutto. You'll see at the end that go on our cucumbers and on top of our goat cheese. And then all these dips you see here, so that jam and this red pepper hummus is made in-house every day. So we don't do any store-bought dips. We make it.
Which is great. You're making it with local ingredients and you're making it here, so it's as fresh as can be. Now, am I the only person when I get a board, I just eat all the cheese?
No, that's